It was a little bit slow. Oh, chat,
Sorry,
please join us.
this is where I go a little bit quiet because I'm doing all the admin stuff in the background.
Also,
Pressing all the buttons.
yes, he's the button presser. Also, if chat, when you show up, because I know you're going to show up, I just believe in you. I need to know if my fan's too loud. Okay. If my fan's too loud, I'm going to have to say sorry. Because it is way too loud.
I honestly couldn't care less. I've got both windows open. I've got 2 full bottles of water.
I forgot.
Close my window. It's quite noisy, but it's warm.
Look, to be honest, I didn't care about the noise. I was like, look, if I'm going to be sitting here for the next 2 hours, potentially, I'm going to do it as much relative comfort as possible.
I'm sure you've got, what's it, Audacity. You can just take the sound of the fan.
Yeah, exactly.
I don't edit on Audacity.
No.
Funnily enough, that Audacity editing did actually come up in a conversation with me this week.
Oh, goodness.
So that's a bit weird, Mike. It's like you know.
No.
Oh yeah, because the co-host of my other podcast, the Never Watchers, he was like, "Shall we do a test one so I can learn how to edit, take your workload off?" I was like, "Yes, yes, you can."
Of course. Where do I sign?
Do you want to know?
Can I get that right?
Do you want to know the real reason I bought this?
Those
Is
balls.
Because it says balls.
well, oh yes, okay. First and foremost, because this is balls. But second of all, and cocktails. Second of all, and it's pina colada.
So plenty of cock and balls there then.
Yeah, exactly. No, the real reason I got this is because long ago, far, far away in another galaxy, I helped somebody build a Master Chief cosplay. And we had to be creative and come up with ways to do the sticky grenades. Back then, you could not find anything round. And so now, anytime I see something round, I buy it because I'm like, one day, I'm going to make a sticky grenade out of this.
And what does it taste like?
Let's find out. It's 13%. It's 13% alcohol.
Nice.
And that's as much as a bottle of wine.
Probably very small, though, isn't it? It's okay.
It's actually nice. It's nice. It's not how I would make a pina colada, but it's nice.
If you love pina coladas and getting cold in the rain.
That's also the second time that's come up this week.
Oh no!
Look, I swear I'm not.
You gotta stop. You gotta stop doing this. This is getting scary.
Oh goodness!
Just willing it into the ether.
Oh goodness! Hello, Nana, and thank you for noticing my title.
Oh God. That can only mean bad things.
No, I'm creative and wonderful.
I've got to go and do all that check-in now, so... Oh God. What am I about to stumble onto?
Well, sometimes it doesn't show up.
Christ's sakes.
See, my Twitch title...
When it comes to SEO on Twitch,
They don't-
you really aren't helping us at all.
My Twitch titles...
Oh no.
They don't
Yes,
transfer.
he's called it cocktails.
They don't transfer to YouTube, so...
No, they don't, because I have to manually change the name.
He has to change it, because I ruined the SEO. I'm still so disappointed in Daddy Issues, the TV show. That was one of my best.
That was a good one, and it made sense, but it was just like nobody really cared about it in terms of SEO.
Because they didn't know it was the Last of Us TV show.
Good God.
But Street Fighter Bonobo's doing great.
Yeah, it was doing okay, but then again, that didn't come from you.
Well, I did kind of mention Bonobos, but the title...
Well, you did, yeah, but it was more Sencho.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, because Sencho named Link the Twink as well, Mike.
Oh, God.
Yes, he did.
Top of the show! I got it in!
What have I joined? What's going on here?
Yeah, sorry, Rob. I should have warned you beforehand.
This isn't episode 166. This is episode 160, part 6. It just never ends.
Yeah, it's just the never-ending, like, twinking.
We get better when the recorder's going. Don't worry.
Oh, well, at least we managed to get what, about 5 minutes before that came up. So,
Yeah. I was wondering how I was gonna slip that in.
Oh, of course you did. Oh, Twitch, why have you changed everything now?
Oh no.
Twitch, why?
What are
Trying
they
to edit
doing?
the title.
No, I'm trying to get the chat open so I can keep an eye on it. But I don't know where to find it now.
Yeah, I
Oh, there we
haven't.
go.
I don't even look at it anymore because it's too. Well, first of all, it'll freeze my computer. Second of all, it's too complicated now.
Yeah.
It looks like
yeah,
Microsoft Flight Simulator doodad thing.
Now
Doodad,
I'll take
yeah.
the microphone back to its normal.
Doohickey.
Doohickey. All the words and the things. Bueno has arrived.
Oh, bueno.
Sorry I missed
Sorry I
last
missed
week.
last week. It was Father's Day here last week as well. I think
Yeah.
it's worldwide.
And that is what we figured anyway. We did a shout out to all the puppies and the fathers. And I drank whiskey in honor of my dad.
And all the single mothers that are fathers.
All the
Technically
single
me.
ladies, all the single mothers.
Put your hands up. Oh, wow, you really did name it Cocktails. Okay, gotcha.
I did. I
Look,
doubt.
when Kiley says she does something, she
I
does
love how we're
it.
all just catching up on that slowly.
I just loaded my
Yeah, all of us
for,
have mentioned it at
well.
one point.
There we go.
Oh, that's awesome. That's very fitting.
How are you on Twitch on the Switch?
On Switch? Twitch on Switch. There you are. There's the
Twitch
title.
on Switch. Oh, I like that. Pete, that might need to go in.
There's an app for Twitch on
in
the
the
Nintendo
running.
Switch.
I like that. Twitch
I
on
did not know
Switch.
that.
The more you
Been
know.
immortalised. It's now done.
I watch.
I mean, it's not a reference to the main show. Nobody else is going to get it unless they get the pre-show.
Well, there you go. That'll encourage them. I
There you
actually
go. Reasons.
I watch Twitch on my Amazon Fire Stick.
Oh, another week of mentioning about your Fire Stick.
Oh wait till the intro and I get
With your Fire Stick.
Hit me.
But yeah,
See, I
because
did listen to the podcast last week.
Good. Good.
you and maybe one other person.
Thanks.
No, I mean it wasn't. I don't. It was not our best. It was
It could have been worse.
It could have been worse. It was an off day because it wasn't on a Sunday, and Pete was very tired. Very
Yeah.
tired. But not today.
Running through all the news as well, wasn't it, for
Yeah.
the rest of the summer, whatever it's
Games
called.
Fest.
That's the one, yeah. Summer Games Fest.
The
Summer Games
Naughty
Fest
3.
or,
Naughty
uh,
3.
yeah, Summer Games Fest or Summer Ball Fest.
Oh.
You decide.
Well, look, let's put it this way. I never watched any of it, unfortunately. I just got the highlights through Twitter, and the more interesting games will get sent through our emails anyway. So the
Oh,
highlights.
what, through the
So
PR
that's
stuff?
That's a
Yeah,
good
the
point,
PR
actually.
stuff. Exactly.
Yeah.
So it's like, oh, okay, that's interesting. I go and watch the trailer for that. Oh, that's interesting. I can go watch the trailer for that. I don't have
Yes,
to sit there listening
that's what I do.
to another world premiere.
World
yeah.
premiere.
Don't
All just
worry.
world premieres by now.
Don't worry, I mentioned that on the show as well. As you probably, I got so
Like I
bored
said,
of that.
yeah.
Literally, yeah, it got really dull. Like, and I've had that comment from Microsoft like for the last 4 years now. It's so weird that they keep doing it.
It's far too long as well, I think. It took me like
It was, yeah.
three goes to get through the whole
Mhm.
2 hours.
Yo.
Can't sit and
Wow.
watch all that in one sitting.
Nope.
Well, I watched the first half of it, and then I was like, right, I'm going to take a break for
Yeah.
about 20 minutes, and then watch the Starfield stuff.
They
Yeah,
had me in
yeah.
the first half. That's what all I cared about. I mean, I was very, very upfront about that last week. I only care about Starfield. And
Does look
I-
very good, to be fair.
It
I-
does.
It
Very,
does,
very
but I am just not so happy about the direction they're taking with like the physical editions not actually having the physical
Oh.
game with it.
We're gonna talk about
we're
that,
gonna cover
yeah.
that probably at some point. Yeah, I was the same. Right, give me 2 seconds. I'll be back in a mojo.
Okie dokie.
Yeah.
Oh, Rossi, I'm gonna drink more. I have a terrible workout in the morning I have to go to. One of the worst workouts. It's called the Filthy 50. Ugh. Picture every move you know how to do in the gym, and you have to do it 50 times.
Oh, lovely. Yeah.
Yeah.
None of that thing.
No, it's gonna be awful.
No.
In this heat.
Mm.
Ah.
I
But
did a charity challenge this week.
oof.
I had to walk 30 miles
Right.
between 19th and Monday. So I've done 32.
Excellent.
So,
In this heat.
And it's not been the right week for it, has it?
No.
Oh my
No.
gosh.
Monday was
That's really
horrendous. But,
The pounds are just squatting off you.
yeah.
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 It was 300 pounds before the week.
That is actually true for me.
Yes.
Brent says tomorrow is my penultimate physical therapy appointment. Nice. Are you? I hope you're looking forward to it. I don't know. Are you looking forward to
Well,
it?
Good luck, regardless.
Mm-hmm.
Doesn't matter whether you're looking forward to it or not.
Well, I always hate being like, "Yay!" and then they're like, "I don't want to go," and it's like, "Oh, I'm sorry."
Yeah, I mean, that's why I said good luck.
Sorry. Yeah. Pete's
Yeah,
better at
and
humaning
yes.
than I am.
Well, we... Am I? Really?
Yes. By like a million.
I mean, I think this week has kind of proven that I don't know particularly how to adult and how to human very well at times.
You are doing so well.
No, I'm not.
You are.
Stay strong,
Um,
Pete. Stay strong. You're getting through
That's
it.
right. I'm
Good
proud
life.
of you.
I think the heat's getting to me.
Oh, nice. Brent said I only missed one appointment of the 5 weeks of therapy so far. That's really good. That's very good.
Good.
Yeah.
Did you cover the what no game with physical edition comment?
Oh, yeah. What? No game with the physical edition? Yes. We all know my...
Disappointing to say the least.
We all
That is
know
why
my
I'm
thoughts
not
and feels.
That's why I'm not buying Starfield physically.
You shouldn't have to. It's going to be on Game Pass. World premiere.
There you are.
I mean, based on the fact that this thing is now pretty much obsolete, I think I'm going PC with it.
Uh,
Are you going to
I'm
play
not.
with a controller on PC or mouse and keyboard?
Yeah, I'll go with
always-
controller.
Always.
Yeah.
controller.
I'm not quite that PC adept yet.
Me neither.
Look, it's been a long time since I've done mouse and keyboard, and that was playing like this is how long ago it was. It was playing UT.
Oh my goodness.
Wow.
Not
Yeah.
even UT
Gee.
2004. No, original UT.
Man. I miss that. We have so
Yeah,
much
so
to
do I.
talk about because I got games I played this week I want to talk about.
Yeah, we can talk about games we've played because I'm sure that the Nintendo Direct is gonna cover.
I was
about
going to
an
say,
hour, possibly.
since I won't be joining in that conversation, I'll be making witty comments from the sidelines.
Which is always what you tend to do when it comes to Nintendo Directs, anyway. So I'll allow it.
Okay. Do you want
Shall we get this show on the road
Yes.
so that we
Oh,
can
yeah.
save ourselves from this absolutely sweltering heat?
Oh my gosh. It is bad.
Mike, I don't know how you're surviving over in Spain right now.
Like,
honestly,
for
It's
real.
about 35 at the moment, so yeah.
Do y'all have air conditioners over there? Because Italy does.
Well, I do have one for the whole flat. Yeah, it's in
Yeah.
the lounge. As you
Yeah.
can see, the fan is spinning
Mhm.
behind me.
Yeah. and-
That's one of the good things here in Spain. You know, we have ceiling fans as
Yeah.
well. So
Yeah.
I'm thinking I'm gonna
So-
have to get one.
So
Put
is
in.
it a portable one or is it literally just solely in the front room?
no, that is solely in the front room. Yeah, the air.
Oh, okay. I was going to say if it was
And
portable.
last year, when it was around about 40 degrees, it didn't work. So
Oh
we had to have it fixed
no!
Big oof.
halfway through.
That's
Yeah.
what
Oh, that
happens.
was terrible.
That's what
I mean,
happens
that
in
would've been a-
Texas. They go
Yeah.
out when you hit like 40. They just they just can't do
Actually,
it.
that has reminded me of something that I had today. Kylie, you'd be impressed that I tried cornbread.
Oh, what kind of cornbread? Did you have real cornbread or the weird fake?
My mum made it.
Oh, sweet!
She made it from a Georgian recipe.
Oh, that's very cool. Yeah,
She was doing
do
a
that.
book group this week where the book she was reading was like a Georgian novel, I think. So she did cornbread,
Oh.
and I can't remember what she had for the main. It was like some stewy.
I was gonna say like cabbage or something. Yeah, it would be. Some
no,
sort of
it would
stew.
have. It's something that you could technically make with roadkill, but she made it with chicken.
There's nothing wrong with
did like
roadkill.
it was like an apple stack for dessert.
Oh right, yes.
Have you seen the neighbour's cat around lately?
No, I have not. I mean, I'm glad because it keeps pooping in my front garden, so you know.
And I'm a person who has had roadkill, so. Oh, but how'd you
Nana
like
said,
it?
how do you not have AC in your underground bunker?
I have considered it every year. I consider getting it, and then I'm like, I don't want to ruin the environment, and then I talk myself out of it. And then these days happen, and I'm like, why didn't you get AC installed? So I think I'm gonna get a portable one and just see how that does.
Normally, you only need it for like 1 or 2 weeks, so don't you? And then-
Right. I mean,
and then
because
Okay.
it's Ireland. I'm in
Right.
Ireland. Ireland.
Yeah.
You know, it's
Nana,
freezing.
I didn't make it. My mum did, and yes, it was the sweet.
That's what I
cornbread.
wanted to ask. Was it sweet?
Yeah.
See, there are 2 different kinds. Now in Texas, we do the less sweet kind, which I love, but not everybody loves. Most people prefer it the kind of cakey sweet type.
I didn't mind it. I thought it was okay. I just don't know if I could eat the whole lot of it.
Yeah, you can really
But
only
that's
have
got
it
nothing
square.
to do with like sweetbread, has it? Sweetbread is something completely
That's
different.
Yeah.
way different. Yeah, that's
Yeah. Cornbread
Yeah.
comes out yellow.
yeah.
I once
Yeah.
had, many years ago, my dad used to work in a bakery, and he would bring home all sorts of weird experiments that they were trying. And I once had tomato soup bread.
Oh, I've
So they,
heard
like,
that's
You put like
good.
a can of tomato soup in the dough, and it was like red bread. It's quite nice.
Bet. Oh,
That
that'd be
sounds really
pretty
nice.
good.
And
Yeah,
if you've already got the soup in the bread.
that's really cool. I
You
like
don't need
that.
to. You've taken that part out of the equation.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh! And if you did it as focaccia bread, like with garlic, and oh my gosh, I'm hungry now. I can't eat bread.
I mean, worse. It could have been worse. Could have been carpaccio bread,
What is that?
old soup.
Oh, okay.
Gazpacho,
Okay.
yeah.
Gazpacho. Yeah.
That's what I'm
Yeah.
saying,
Which.
Yeah.
Well, you say that, Pete, right? There's something similar here in Spain. It's called salmorejo, also known as porra. And basically, it's like a more dense gazpacho. And the reason
More
why it's more
dense?
dense is because they put bread in it.
Oh
Nice.
my gosh.
And then when you see people eating porra or salmorejo with bread, you think you're just eating bread with more bread.
That's like a bread sandwich. There's people that have bread sandwiches and pizza sandwiches. I can't believe that.
Pizza
You'll be able
sandwiches.
to try all of that when you go to, is it the Canary Islands you're going to?
Yes.
Hello?
Indeed.
Well, my mum told me that she's going to Mas Palomas in Gran Canaria
Oh,
sometime
Oh,
in
yeah.
wow.
as
Nice.
well. So-
I've been there.
I thought
yeah.
you.
Have you?
I was going to say. I thought you were going to say that she was going to be in Playa Blanca at the same time as me. I was like, I'm going to go to Mrs. Mike Tyndall.
Nah, different island, mate, different island.
Okay, thank God.
Is it...
Right, should we get?
Okay,
the
yes, we probably should, because I'm like,
Yes.
I want to talk more.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, let's do the actual podcast now. 166.
166.
Okay.
So, right, starting in 3, 2.
Welcome to Rapid Reviews Radio episode 166. Who knows what it's actually called? Because that's how we do on here. I'm your co-host, Kiley Wilde. I'm joined by my ever-present co-host, Pete Beckett.
Hello.
But I've also got 2 very special guests on today. First-time guest, Rob.
Hello, it's me.
It's me. And
Might be a theme for the show here.
friend of the
Okay.
show, Mike Tendo from Mike Tendo.
Hello. What's going on here then?
What so listen? So every week I try to do the British accent. One day I will conquer it.
The
If-
funny thing is, you don't realise you do it at times when you
think
try
when
to be
I'm not-
exaggerated about it.
Yeah.
But that's when you fail.
That's what you
I was
lose
gonna
it, yeah.
say-
Like, if you just talk
Yeah.
naturally, it kind of like just tones itself in. And then when you try to over accentuate, it's like, yes.
It's like whenever I'm at the gym, everyone there just about is Northern Irish, just about like Tegan's from South Africa, but so I'm like surrounded by all these very Northern Irish, very nasally Northern Irish people, and I will come home and maybe talk to someone on the phone or something, and they'll be like, Kylie, you're really sounding Irish now. I don't even notice it. I was like, okay.
You'll be a native Northern Islander.
It does influence the way that you talk when you're around other people as well.
It does, yeah.
I found it many times with living here in Spain. If I'm speaking to like German people, for example, who are here on holiday, and all of a sudden I start developing a German accent, like imitating them while I'm talking to them. It's like I don't mean to.
No,
it's just like my nature. I'm like a chameleon. And I just like sort of like blending.
Don't worry, I know that feeling. I spent 4 days in Scotland and came back with a slight Scottish twang.
Well, see, growing up, like members of my family, being that I am Scottish, that's always confusing to people. Yes, I'm American, but I'm a first-generation American who came back. So, like, I was surrounded by just Scottish accents my whole life. And so I'm like, I have to watch it because it'll start doing, weird things. My mouth will start. And I'm like, nope. I'm in Northern Ireland now. But
I mean, they're basically the same people, aren't they? Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Essentially, yeah.
Celtic, isn't it?
Yeah, I was going to say, just don't let the Rangers fans hear you say that.
As long as you don't call them English, it's fine.
See, that's really it, because we do have the Ulster Scots. The Ulster Scots are a whole separate thing, and they're Okay, no, I'm not going to get into
and I was also going to say, as long as you don't
point
use the
out, I am
derogatory
part
term
Irish
for them.
and part Scottish. I think I can get away with that.
There you go.
Why do you sound like Basil Fawlty right now?
Basil, did you know? Okay, I know we're going. Look, you know what? Just strap
This is a
in.
tangent.
Did you know? I didn't know this. What's his face? John Cleese's wife on Fawlty Towers, Basil. She was American. Connie's American.
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
And at the time, he was married to the waitress, who I can't remember the name of.
Is the actress played Connie Booth, isn't it?
Connie Booth, that was it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Connie Booth was American, and I did not know that. And also didn't know what's-his-face wasn't Spanish, which sounds silly now, but I was a child.
Andrew Sachs.
Yes.
The one that got abused by Russell Brand and Jonathan Ross many years ago.
That was my first taste of British stuff, was the whole Jonathan Ross thing, and I was like, I don't like this at all.
I honestly don't know how either one of those two still came out of a career at the end of it.
I'm gonna be honest, I didn't either. Why are we talking about this? This is not Nintendo. Okay.
Oh, we're supposed to be starting a podcast or something?
We've already started. Wow, that is probably our most off-topic intro.
Is it dengue fever now?
At this point, who knows? Okay, so back on track. Can you believe it's me? It's me putting us back on track. That's not a thing. But what I like to do.
Dun, dun, dun.
I know, it's scary. It's terrifying. Nana says, for the record, this always happens. But
welcome to the madhouse.
Welcome to the house of fun.
I was going to say that welcome to the madhouse might come up later as well.
Oh goodness! Everyone go watch the young ones.
Any of the topics we actually go
right, exactly. So
Rob's our barometer for today.
So what I generally like to do, even though we've gone far off topic already, is to start the show by asking everyone how their week's been, and we get our loosey-gooseys out, which I would say that we've already done that, and got the sillies out, but I'll start with Rob. Rob, how has your week been?
My week's been good. Discussed before the podcast started, I've been doing far too much running in this heat. I've been playing a lot of Diablo 4.
Nice.
Still.
Mm-hmm.
It's been good.
How you been finding Diablo at the moment?
Really good, yeah. I'm sort of a bit in two minds at the moment whether I want to continue playing at the same sort of rate or just wait now until first season, because sort of everything I do now will be kind of erased, if you will, Not entirely, but because you have to start again. So I'm like,
Yeah.
Oh,
do I
yeah.
want to keep investing time, or do I want to just wait? Or I don't know, but it's very fun, and you can't stop yourself playing it. So, yeah,
That's fair. I've never played a Diablo game before, so
not at all.
no, but I'm not about to start now because Activision Blizzard.
Oh gosh.
Well, yeah,
Oh goodness.
yeah.
Well, my housemate.
Stick to your guns, Pete. Stick to your guns.
There you go. But my housemate is a big Diablo fan, and what he will do is like watch videos on how to do builds and stuff.
Yeah,
And it gets so intense and so like there's all this math and stuff that I'm just like, what?
Complexity.
Yeah, a lot of complexity. And he's like, oh, I have to try this build. You should see this. And I don't know anything that he's talking about. But he loves
the same
it.
essential principle as like making a character on Sekiro or like Bloodborne or something like that.
Well, it's like all these different like armor pickups and stuff you can do. I don't really understand. I was sick to Fallout. But
I'm sure you can make builds from that.
yeah, I love making those builds.
Yeah.
But to be fair, as I said before, I think I said this last week or the week before when we were talking about Starfield. Once you know the Bethesda formula, it just goes across all the games. And yeah, I just love it. I already know the formula and everything. I'm gonna do it again in Starfield too. Watch me. Mike.
Yeah, because yeah.
What about you? How's your week been?
Okay, well, to be fair, it's been relatively uneventful, fortunately, because last week the car decided to die on me while I was in the middle of work. So I had to get the repair breakdown service to come out and jump start the car for me, then get a new battery. And basically just had to keep the car running the whole time to get to the workshop so they could change the battery, because as soon as I stopped the car and went to turn it over again, dead. But anyway, this week has been relatively uneventful, with the exception, as some of you already know, because I posted it on social media, that I managed to graduate high school from... basically, I was doing an adult education. Thank you very much. Thank you. Adult education for the last 2 years. Basically, because where I live in Spain, if you want to try and get an entry-level job in almost anything now, unless you have a secondary school degree, all the doors are closed. I mean, if you want to work in a supermarket, you need it. If you want to work in any kind of like retail job at all, or any like entry-level job, you need it. So I went, okay, well, basically. When my partner started working here where we are, she works in the courts. So whilst you're working, I will go back and study and get my secondary.
That's
excellent.
And
so I graduated on the Fridays, hence why I was wearing the veil thing and all that in the photo. So yeah, all good.
Oh, that's so cool.
Other than that, not really much. Watch the Nintendo Direct, but we will get into that.
We will definitely get into that.
Nana put congrats Mike in the chat, so
thank you, Nana.
It was very, very cool. Big accomplishment, big time. The U.S. is like that. You cannot get a job without a high school diploma. You can't. So I had to do the same thing. But Pete, what about you? How's your week been?
It's been a weird one, let's say, because
Pete's having a time. He's having a moment.
The adult time in my life is getting rather boring, and I've had enough of it. But
Pete.
Thank goodness the contracts finally came through, so we're that one step closer now. Thank goodness. So.
Pete, it's gonna pay off. It's gonna be great. I promise.
Look, I know it will, but it's taking such a long period of time. The heat hasn't helped to that as well, but it's been a nice weekend because I spent pretty much all of it with my partner. So just never a complaint from my eyes there.
That's really
just remember the immortal words of Ronan Keating: that life is a roller coaster. You just have to ride it.
Yes. 100%.
Wow, okay. I didn't expect that.
He hates that song.
Yeah, I was not expecting that one to come up, but hey, I'll take it.
Oh, goodness.
But yeah, it's been a week.
Well,
Kylie,
I believe in you. So my week is actually crazy as well because, okay, I'm kind of a hermit, so if I say anything stupid, just correct me. Over here in Belfast, it's Pride Month. I don't know if it's...
Yes.
I don't know if
that's
it's
correct.
globally.
It's the same
Okay. Is that okay? So that's one of my busy. Actually, it's more busy for me in Pride Week than it is, or Pride Month than it is at Christmas.
Okay.
So I have been working nonstop, which is fun. It's fun, and I love it. It's this cause I believe in, and all that kind of stuff. And I got invited to walk in the Pride Parade, so I'm kind of like really chuffed about that. But outside of that, I've been working out every day, and I'm losing tons of weight, which I'm very excited about. You can kind of see it actually.
Well done.
But
Yes, I can actually.
yeah, it's actually starting to show on camera now, which I'm glad about. But on top of that, I'm doing weightlifting, and holy crap, I did an hour of heavy lifting this morning. I was so in this heat, in a warehouse, with no fans.
Oh.
I was like, and no sweat glands. Don't forget, I don't have sweat glands. Because they were removed. So I am like, and then they posted a video up online, and I was a little bit embarrassed, but also kind of proud. So that's kind of cool. I did a clean and jerk today, split jerk, which nobody knows what that means, but that's fine. Just pretend like you do.
No, I'm just going to make it sound like it's a porno.
Yeah, and I did it with 45 pounds again, or 45 kilograms again. Everybody's like, oh, yay. Yes, it's very good. But, okay, all that aside, there's another thing I discovered. So we know the last few weeks I've been a Luna girl, which is Amazon's gaming.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, the only person I know who's actually played it, by the way.
I know. I got a control. Okay, the Luna controller. I said this. I think I said it last week. I might have just said it to Pete, but I might have said it on the show. I can't remember. The Luna controller
I think you
has.
said it on show.
Okay, well, it has gone on sale in the UK, and it is $59.99. And no, absolutely not. I'm not gonna buy that.
Affiliate link in the description.
There you go. Yes, everyone go to Amazon and buy it in our affiliate link. But so I got a third-party wireless controller, and I hooked it up. Not great, but it gets the job done. So I became a Luna girl. And then I did something I've never... Like, if you've been a listener, watcher of this show for many years, and I know you all have. Okay, so Netflix bought a gaming division and decided they were going to do games. And I said, oh, that's a terrible idea. Who would want to play Netflix games? I played a Netflix game this week. It's by Devolver, of all people. It's called...
They've been on the Netflix grind a bit.
It's called Terra Nil.
That's on Steam as well, isn't it? I think.
It is on Steam.
Yeah.
It's on iPad, which is where I've got it. Oh my gosh, I'm addicted. It is resource management, which is what I love. Strategy/resource management. So you have to be kind of into that. But I am into that, and I'm addicted, and I'm playing a Netflix game. I am so ashamed of myself.
Okay, let me just tell you now, because
your subscription's getting some use then.
Exactly.
It's not like there's many shows on it at the moment.
No. I'm only watching on Amazon, and I'm watching 2 shows, House and Preacher. That's it.
Preacher, okay.
Yeah, because I love the comic book. I love the comic book. And Cassidy, the drunk vampire. But anyway, yes, Pete, what were you going to say?
I was going to say, so Mike, the game that we played together at WASD this year, that really weird building game where you were just fighting your way through it, the one that we both really like.
I think it's Stick It to the Stick Man or something like that.
Yeah, I think, wasn't that coming to Netflix?
A Stickman game?
Yeah, Stick It to the Stick Man, I believe it was called.
I love Stickman games.
Yeah, it was
so
great fun,
funny.
obviously. Yeah, it was ridiculously stupid and fun. But I think they'd said that one was coming to Netflix at some point.
Well,
I can definitely see that game coming, yeah.
Mm.
Well, from here on out, I'm still 100% your Microsoft Bethesda girl, and I always will be. But I'm slowly becoming some kind of weird Luna Netflix girl. I don't know how I feel about that.
What did you play on Luna? Because I was a Stadia founder right from the very beginning.
Right.
Oh no.
Oh goodness.
And obviously then we
Probably-
killed that.
Look,
Probably-
somebody had to be, okay?
Yeah.
That's
Actually,
true.
I was
Some great
going to
games
say,
on it, and you had
yeah,
fun.
probably
That's
not a
all
good
that
idea to
matters.
go back to our back catalogue and listen to some of the slander that we made about Stadia.
I know. And Overlord Mike, he was a Stadia adherent. So
Yeah,
he
he
was
was.
not happy when it ended. But we predicted
good
his
that
demise. So.
You got basically all your money back. Other than the subscription,
Well, see-
you got all your money back. So that was
Well,
Yeah,
that's
that was
very
good.
good. But
But-
Luna currently has all of Ubisoft's games. So all of them.
all the million Assassin's Creed.
All the
Yeah, I was gonna say,
Assassin's
plenty
Creed.
of ass Creed.
All the ass creed you could want. But and then Capcom, so I have all the Resident Evil games. It's got retro games on there, so Earthworm Jim, which is like one of my favorites from childhood, so it's on there.
Nice.
I've been playing Batman. What was it? Oh, what did I say it was called, Pete? Is it Origins? It's the one with Scarecrow.
Oh,
in it.
Batman Arkham Origins.
That one. It made me go watch Killian Murphy again as Scarecrow, and, because it played like ass. I'm sorry.
Hang on, wait, Asylum had Scarecrow, didn't it?
I don't remember. They all blend together with me. I like the one where you have to like.
Look, let's save this because that might come up later.
Oh, okay.
I do.
Okay, we'll do that. But anyway.
You're a talking point, Kylie.
Yeah, I actually don't know because I mentioned Killian Murphy, and once I mention him, I don't really care about anything else. And yes,
Someone's a bit of a Killian Murphy fanboy.
I
That means
will-
you're going to see Oppenheimer.
I'm going to watch
next week.
Oppenheimer. I'm going to cry my eyes out because it's going to be such a existential crisis moment. It won't have anything to do with Killian Murphy. It'll be everything to do with man's inhumanity to man. And I think it's going to be wonderful. But I'll report back. But that's not the reason why we're here. Neither is my Luna or Netflix talk. Can you believe that?
But yeah, we get
That
it
is
every
surprising.
week.
Yeah, I know, right? Everyone tuned in for that. Our viewer number didn't just drop dramatically.
Yeah, as soon as you started mentioning Luna, that was it. People
That
went,
was it. Bye. I'm out of here.
Fangirl decides to abandon Xbox.
I will never abandon Xbox. And I do not
Sounds
care.
like it.
First of all, I know Father Phil has been in the news this week. I still love him and support him. I do not care. My fangirlism will go with me to the end. I will stand by him and Bethesda to the very end.
Yeah.
But
Okay, we won't talk about that price increase that's coming to nearly everywhere in the world but US.
yeah, that, and then there was some other stuff, but we'll talk about that next week, actually.
Yes.
Stick around, because we got a lot to talk about next week. But this week, these
What's happened this week?
special guests are here for a reason. They have things in common. All three of these boys have things in common that I don't have in common. And
Who
it
you got
isn't
one out?
it isn't the cocktails. It's the it is the fact that they're all here to talk about the Nintendo Direct. And I want to set this up and then I will throw it over to Pete. So last week Pete was like, okay, Nintendo Direct's coming out. Are we going to do a big show over it? I'm like, nah, it's, whatever. We'll just do a normal show. Just me and you, Pete. We'll chill.
Yeah, don't mention the specific game that brought it up.
I won't do that, but I will say, as soon as the Nintendo Direct was over, bam, there was Pete in my DMs with exclamation points. Oh my gosh! Oh my gosh, we have to do a show. And I was like, you're so excited about this. We've got to get people on the show because I will not be able to match that excitement ever.
which is fair. I mean, but considering in the levity of fairness, we did do the PlayStation one and the Xbox one
Exactly.
as well as Summer Games Fest. So
It's true, but I cannot.
damn you, Nintendo, not filling that Summer Games Fest. Oh wait, you just didn't care about Jeff Keighley. Good.
Aw. Cute little Jeff. But that enthusiasm, that excitement, it just tickled me. I love it so much. So you're going to see it here tonight with three of these people while I sit back and drink and pass it over to Pete.
Yeah, you're essentially our audience today.
I am going to be the audience. But Pete, why don't you tell us a little bit about the Direct, and we'll just go into it. Hey, let's do that.
Okay, for those who are out of the loop, don't know, or new to the internet.
There you go.
Hello, welcome to the internet. Join us. No,
You were just born yesterday.
Quite a few years ago, Nintendo decided to move from an in-person presence at E3 to an online presence, and they have maintained it ever since. It's called the Nintendo Direct. And as you have noticed, for some reason, Nintendo are ahead of the curve because now PlayStation and Xbox do the same thing.
It's true.
Funny that.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, so one aired on, I believe it was Wednesday. Yes, it was. Yes, I had to remember I was in the office for a meeting that day. Damn, my meeting coming at 3 o'clock when it was supposed to be airing.
Oh, that sucks.
Luckily, I'm off Twitter, so I didn't get all the spoilers. Thank you.
Ah, there you go.
Well, it's a good thing you was off Twitter, because it was on fire.
Oh my gosh, I bet it was.
I don't really even want to know, to be honest. I've still got the Rapid Reviews Radio account, and I'm like, I go on it sometimes, I'm like, what's trending? Nope.
Yeah. Why?
Yeah.
And off.
That's pretty much what it is. Like, right, following tab to see what's going on. Yeah, it's nothing. Bye. So yeah, slightly off course there. But Nintendo Direct happened this Wednesday. It was around 40 plus minutes of
Holy crap.
announcement after announcement after announcement.
That's pretty good.
Some stuff we knew, some stuff we didn't, some surprises, but we'll go through all of that as we go by. So let's start at the very beginning, I guess. So first up, and I want to know some speculation about this one because there's been a lot rife with this one. Pokemon Scarlet and Violet's DLC was shown off. So in fall 2023 is the first part, which is called the Teal Mask. And the second part's coming out in winter, known as the Indigo Disc. So, Rob, are you a Pokemon fan? And if so,
yes.
What did you think of this?
So, funnily enough, Scarlet, I got Scarlet out of Scarlet and Violet, is the first Pokemon game where I've actually completed the Pokedex. I've never done that before in any of the previous ones I've played. I don't know why this one. I don't know.
Look,
it was just sort of the sort of books on the library shelf was quite
that's
quite
fair
satisfying
enough.
seeing them fill in.
Yeah.
You know?
Well, I did it with Sun and Moon. I have no idea why, but it sort of got to that point where I started just collecting, and then eventually 90 hours later, I was like, cool, I'm done.
Yeah. But I'm not sure on the DLC. It doesn't really excite me much. I
Interesting.
kind of feel like, maybe there'll be like 150, 200 Pokemon in each one. I don't know. It still doesn't look great, does it? You know, when you compare it to like Tears of the Kingdom that released last month,
Oh,
and that
agree.
looks, sublime compared to Pokemon games. I think
Agreed, yeah.
the problem with Pokemon games nowadays is that they're not made for the games. They're just made to sell more Pikachu plushies to keep the franchise going. You know, which is a shame. They're not their priority anymore.
I mean, let's be honest. That's quite a reductive view of it, but you're mostly true.
I was gonna say it's a correct view though. I mean,
But I'm a massive fan of the franchise. But I'll get the next new game, but I'm just not sure on this DLC.
yeah.
For me.
So the controversy that seems to be going around with Scarlet and Violet's DLC was the fact that the Pokemon Company has seemed to be promised a performance patch, and it hasn't come for Scarlet and Violet just yet, but yet they're announcing the DLC for it. So, Mike, how do you feel about that?
Right, now I enjoyed Pokemon Scarlet, and I never really had any huge issues with performance, not like how other people have, and you can see countless videos on YouTube of people, all these glitches and everything happening. I think the only thing I really had was like slowdown, which we have mentioned a couple of times on the podcast, I believe, about the slowdown and the frames per second going down to single digits for some things. I mean, I am not overly blown over by the DLC. Would I get it? maybe. I think I did get it in the end. I think I got it from CD Keys because I had it on like a heavier discount. I thought, okay, well, if I'm going to get it, I might as well get it for about €10 or £10 cheaper.
Yep,
Yeah.
I love CD keys.
And I have beaten the game. I've got all the Pokemon, did all the main story, side stories, and everything in it. And I enjoyed it. I enjoyed it very much. But I don't know whether it's enough for me to want to go back and actually play the DLC. I may do. It depends on what else I'm playing. If I haven't got anything else on at the time. I mean, I'm pretty sure I'd probably be done with Tears of the Kingdom by then. I've got about 140 hours into that at the moment. So
Oh my gosh.
should be like finish it up. I'm not going to go after the Korok stage. It's just that one thing after the other, and you explore, and it's like, oh, what's this? Oh, what's that? But as regards to Pokemon, there was a game that was shown during the Direct that I was much more interested in, which we will obviously get to in a moment.
Oh, goodness.
Of course.
I'm
So,
excited.
yeah, I had a look at this myself, and I thought, yeah, not really interested, to be honest. Scarlet and Violet, I didn't buy. I played it for about 5 minutes on someone else's Switch, saw the frame rate issue, and went, that's a hard no for me.
Which
So
one,
I was just...
Pete, which one did you get that you returned? Which one was that? You bought Pokemon something. You played
Sword
it.
and Shield, maybe?
It might have... No, I did, yeah. I returned Shield after
Okay.
Sword after I'd finished it.
Yeah,
I
after
was
you
like,
finished
I
it.
don't
Yeah.
see myself continuing playing this, so... It was another one of those. I love Sun and Moon, and I was just like, I really quite like some of the game. It was too easy, like, for Sword and Shield. It was a bit too easy, and all the end game stuff, I was just like, not really very interested in doing this. So, yeah, I just, once the story was done, I was done.
Right. Interesting.
Right. Yeah, so next up, we had a small trailer for Sonic Superstars, which was obviously previously announced during Summer Games Fest and was very recently, a couple of days ago, shown off at the Sonic birthday celebration, I believe it was, or Sonic Celebration. So this was just a small trailer, just obviously because showing what it looked like on the Switch, and it doesn't look too much different to the other consoles.
Just
Looks-
good.
I think it looks all right, actually. I'm mostly surprised about this particular game because what I kind of knew at the time, couldn't get through at the time when we were talking about it on Summer Games Fest. The developer of this one is a little bit of a worry, and it's the people who made Balan Wonderworld.
Yeah.
Ooh. Oh dear.
Yeah.
Master's not there now, is he?
No, he may
Yeah,
have
'cause
he may have sped his way into prison.
I was gonna say he's been arrested.
Here you go, spin dash straight to jail.
Oh gosh.
Oh,
Oh gosh.
Yeah, I
that
know,
is a
it's terrible
crazy
Sonic jokes.
story.
See-
That is a crazy
Yeah,
story.
I didn't see this game at all, so my first time seeing it was in the Direct. So
Oh,
for me, it
right.
was totally new, which is quite nice. And
That's
yeah, it
cool.
looks quite good.
Yeah, it's. I think it's a really interesting sort of way of doing things now with the Sonic games. Is that you have the more traditional 2D games that are trying to advance the series rather than just going back and playing on nostalgia completely.
Yeah.
But funnily enough, though, annoyingly, Kylie, you know the Summer Games Fest one that we did a couple of weeks ago?
Yes.
We recorded that on the same day as a podcast that I listened to called TCGS, and they made the same new Sonic Bros joke that I did.
gosh.
And we were recording at the exact
Oh.
same time that day as well.
We did it first.
We technically did it first. I'm annoyed about that because I listened to that podcast when it came out 2 days later. I was
Literally in the
like,
Matrix.
Yeah.
yeah, we're on it.
Deja vu. What did you say?
Damn it, I thought I had original thoughts.
It does look fun. I mean, all the being able to play like 4 different characters and stuff like that. I like that. I do
Yeah.
think that's cool.
Yeah, made complete sense. It was Amy rather than Shadow or Metal Sonic.
I love Amy. Okay.
No, I
Oh,
thought
to
they
be
were cool.
fair, I mean, Shadow or Metal Sonic could come into the game as unlockable characters or DLC characters sometime down the line. You know what Sega's
Depends on
like.
popularity,
I mean,
I
yeah.
guess.
We all want
I
to
was
be
gonna
Biggs the
Or
cat.
they'll make them exclusive to a certain version of the game.
There you go.
Thanks, Sega.
Ah.
Stop giving them ideas.
Oh gosh.
Oh wait, they probably already had those ideas.
Probably.
Right. So next up we did I say it was coming out in fall 2023? I think I did, but anyway, fall
420.
2023.
Yeah, now.
So next up we had a game called Palia. I actually don't remember anything about this one.
This was a free-to-play sort of. It looked a bit like what's the Disney one called? Dreamlight Valley.
Oh,
Alright.
is this the one that they called a Saturday morning cartoon?
No, I think that
That's
was.
Myth Quest,
Yeah.
Oh
that-
yeah, okay.
Yeah.
That would be cool.
which I'm
Looks-
pretty sure there
looks
was a
okay.
game called the Saturday Morning Cartoon, isn't it?
Don't know, but anyway, I need to have a look at Palia because I am.
It's like
Blanking.
an RPG or something. I can't remember what it's called. Oh,
Yeah.
sorry.
Okay. Yeah, I recognise the screenshots now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
just-
Okay.
Obviously free-to-play, isn't it? So you never know what sort of
Mhm.
monetization there'll be.
Yeah.
But
Ugh.
the gameplay, core gameplay looks fun.
To be fair, if it's anything like Disney Dreamlight Valley, I think it will probably be mildly successful.
I
And
like
to be
Dreamlight.
fair, considering Disney, what they're like with their monetization, hasn't been as
Yeah.
aggressive as I thought it would be.
Yeah, like I actually do enjoy Dreamlight Valley, you know?
Yeah, I know Chloe did, and she wrote a pretty stellar review of it and streamed it a few times. So and it
It's
looks
just
quite
Yeah.
playing
fun.
it to death on her Switch. I've watched her play it quite a lot. She seems to enjoy it. So.
Cool. So yeah, holiday 2023 for that one. Like Rob said, free to play. So yeah, free to play. Nice. Next up, a game that we did already know about as well, but is now finally officially been confirmed for the Switch, and that is Persona 5 Tactica.
Oh yeah.
This is the strategy RPG or the tactics RPG from the Persona 5 universe.
Ah.
This is coming out November 17th.
Basically,
So-
it's like XCOM, but personified.
Yep.
Hey.
Oh my!
Nice.
I didn't even
Nice.
get that until I heard it again. I was like, oh my
Very
Just-
good.
God. Very good. Any Persona fans that are particularly excited? Or...
I've never played a Persona game.
No,
Right,
neither have I.
I played Strikers and I played a little bit of Persona 5 on the Switch. It's not bad. I kind of enjoyed it. I've just not had the time to actually really sink into them kind of games. Would I probably pick up Tactica as well? Well, since I got the other two, then most likely I'm
Right.
a holder. I mean, collector. So
I mean, same thing.
I'll probably play it for a couple of hours and then it'll just sit on the shelf and I'll go, oh, that looks pretty.
Yeah, I know that feeling.
Back to Tears of the Kingdom for another 100 hours or so. I should really be playing other games, but hey ho.
Is it wrong to admit, and I don't know why I'm doing this live
Oh
on
goodness.
the podcast,
Here we go.
is it wrong to admit that I sold Zelda?
What? You what?
Street Fighter 6 came out and I couldn't
Oh.
see myself playing Zelda, so I was like,
Oh,
I've got to
gosh. See, okay.
Wow. Wow.
That was hurtful, but I know that you are a big Mario fan. Now, if that was a Mario game, that
Oh,
would
that wouldn't
Yeah, it
happen.
wouldn't have been
You'd
sold.
It
have to
wouldn't
hand
happen.
in your Mario fan card.
Which
Yeah.
will come up here in
Yeah,
a few minutes. That wouldn't
admittedly,
happen.
admittedly, I'm not the biggest Zelda fan, so it's hard
Yeah,
for me to
exactly.
get into that series. So it was like
It's different for
No,
Mario.
I'm not a big Zelda fan
Uh-huh.
either.
No,
yeah, not
Link.
proven by the last time. Of course.
No Link the Twink for Mike.
Oh, for
But
goodness sake.
I got it in. I
Tiny, you
got
broke
it
the
in.
one rule.
I got it in. You know I was gonna do it.
Mark,
Mark, you're-
I am gone. Thank you very much, guys.
Mark your bingo cards, cause I did it. But I will say this: this has been a long-standing thing. I have a, I almost said I have a Twitch. I have a Switch. I've opened it once, and I've made an account, and I've never played it. Not even through the Animal Crossing years, the lockdown years, did I play it. Because I'm just a different sort of player.
Commitment. That is good
I-
commitment. That.
I know.
Yeah, I'd rather pick up my iPad than my Switch.
I do. It's true. It's true. But oh my gosh, I do love my iPad. I just downloaded Minecraft. Oh, I will be.
Oh my god!
How do you play that on a?
Oh,
Oh.
hello. Welcome to 2011, Kylie.
You
guys
won't
finally
see
caught up
me.
with.
You won't see me on anything except Luna, Netflix, and my.
God.
But
Is it about time that we punched that hardcore gamer card of Kiley's and now called her cash?
I'm not a casual. No, I will die by that.
More casual gamer now.
No, but I loved
Tim
watch.
Spencer's just called and says he wants his Xbox back.
Yeah, he wants his Duke controller.
No. But I love my Twitch and YouTube streamers. As we know, I have stated that so much. Call me Kevin, and I am Krusty. Yep, are my two favorite. I have absolutely enjoyed watching Link to Twink, Zelda Tears of the Kingdom. Like, that is the only thing so far that has even, like, given me any kind of, like, ooh, maybe I should turn my Switch on.
There must be some games you could play on. There's thousands.
There's been so many things I've said that you could. I mean, if you didn't already own it on Xbox, I would have said you could have played Doom and Doom Eternal.
Well, that's the
on there.
thing. Well, that's the thing. If I didn't have them on Xbox, it's like, all Witcher, GTA, all of that. Like, I already own that. So, and that's my style.
Fine.
So,
can you play Doom Eternal on the go?
I can actually play it on my iPad through Game Pass.
Without a Wi-Fi connection.
No, not without a Wi-Fi connection. That is true.
There you go. There's your selling point.
There you go. I still strongly believe that there will be something. But what my point was to all of this funny nonsense is that Tears of the Kingdom has been the only thing so far that it's kind of like, oh, maybe I will load this up. I really enjoy watching my Twitch streamers play that. It's so, like, I love all the puzzles and stuff. That's my thing, outside of
As
FPS.
a big Zelda fan, and I am thoroughly enjoying my time playing Tears of the Kingdom, and then seeing the level of creativity that people get up to on YouTube, and you see the amount of inventions they make and things that they do, which can be sometimes absolutely terrifying. Like literally making the US Air Force and then just napalming the crap out of goblins.
What?
Like, oh my god, they're committing war crimes.
There's so
I
much
do not
freedom,
have that same capacity when I'm playing, so it's one thing to watch it and then you play it for yourself, and yes, it is still fun and it's still great.
Yeah.
But if you are looking at all these videos and think, I want to emulate that, and then you actually get into it and then you realise you don't have that level of skill that these other players do, you may not get the exact same enjoyment as you do from watching the videos.
Yes.
But it is one of those games that just look as great to watch as it is to play.
I will say that happened for me with Dreams on the PlayStation.
Yeah.
And I think it's Little Nightmare. Which is
Little
it?
Big Planet.
Little Big Planet. Thank you, Pete. I was just like, oh my gosh, they're creating all this awesome stuff. I'm really smart. I can create awesome stuff. No, I can't because I'm bored.
Same happened with Game Builder Garage as well.
Oh gosh. And any of the like RPG Maker, all of that kind of
Dragon
stuff.
Quest Builders,
All
Mario
that
Maker,
stuff. Oh,
stuff like
gosh.
that.
I used to love watching
RPG Maker,
that. RPG Maker, yeah.
But some of these games are good. That there are creative people out there.
They are.
And
yes.
as long as they upload their content, you can play them.
Yeah, that's the good thing.
I believe there is a free downloader for RPG Maker where you can just play other people's games. You don't have to create your own.
Which is
then,
that's what I
like
do.
you said about Game Builder Garage as well. Even if you don't develop your own, micro games in it, you just play other people's. You still can get that enjoyment from it.
Right.
The problem is when you try to design something yourself and you're not.
I don't
adept.
have that. Well,
like me, for example, I did all the tutorial stuff. That was fine, but then I'm like trying to make my own games. Like, what do I do now?
Yeah.
That was like me on Mario Maker 2 trying to make levels.
Oh gosh,
I played many Mario levels. I'm sure I could do something, but no.
Mario Maker 1? Oh no, I was in that. That was like, I enjoyed that very much. But
this would be the time when I praise the Wii U for its controls.
Yes.
Yeah,
I did play my Wii U.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Because
See,
you could, do that and watch it on the big screen.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
I still
Yeah.
have a lot of love for the Wii U. We've expressed that before on this show.
I mean, as long as you got a stylus for the Nintendo Switch,
Oh my
then obviously
gosh.
Super Mario Maker 2 is a little bit easier to,
Oh
course, yeah.
goodness.
design your games and stuff. But that's what the Wii U had.
Yeah, I was going to say
over,
the Wii U had
Mm.
built-in stylus.
And then and then the thing that was before the Switch, what was it? Where you could
The
play
Wii.
Scribblenauts? Whatever
Oh,
I
right,
had.
yeah.
And I could play
Oh,
Scribblenauts. Scribblenauts was the best game
Oh
ever.
yeah, Scribblenauts on Wii U.
Oh
was
my
apparently
gosh.
really good.
Was it on Wii? Okay, I just remember I loved Scribblenauts.
Yeah, there was a Wii U game of
See,
it.
I have-
Scribblenauts Unlimited, I think it was, or
Yes, Scribblenauts Unlimited. I have some Nintendo cred. I have a little bit. And I do.
yeah, it's called
play-
emulating on Luna.
I do love emulation. I do. I am a big emulation fan. But Pete,
Like that one.
let's continue on. What was the next game that they revealed?
Yeah, that was
Oh, yeah.
Persona 5 Tactica.
About half an hour ago.
Moving on.
Yeah. Right. Next up, we had Myth Force. This was the game that I got mistakenly confused. This is the Saturday morning cartoon. It's like
See,
game.
that
This
sounds
actually
so
looked kind of
fun.
fun.
Okay, I have to go look at that. I love
Yeah.
Saturday morning
the
cartoons.
the artwork. I'm gonna see if I can pop this in.
Oh gosh.
The artwork is actually awesome. You probably won't be able to see it, Cardi, until.
Well, I got my trusty iPad. Which I
Okay,
play
well, there you go.
Minecraft on.
There's the cover artwork for it. It was like, damn, that is so cool.
Let's see.
It definitely feels like part Castlevania, part He-Man, like stuff like that. It was like,
Oh, that
this
makes
is
me
so cool.
very
Do you have
happy.
a release date for this one?
Is that
Just
a-
2023.
That is a blonde chick, isn't it? That is a chick.
What, the front?
Is it?
On the front? Is that her? Is that a girl?
It may or may not be. We must not assume her gender or their gender.
Okay, right. Okay,
Yes,
good point.
yes,
But
yes.
she looks like a chick and she looks like me. I think I love this game without even playing it.
Because
What do you think
clearly
of the-
people don't
Look at
play
the
it.
pirate! Oh my gosh, I love this artwork. Myth
What do you
Force.
think of the first person though? Do you think that's because I feel like it might be a bit clunky to play, especially if you're like
Oh.
a bow and arrow kind of dude.
Yeah,
I don't know.
Yeah,
I
it
always-
kind of had like that dragon's trap kind of vibe to it as well. Like you were saying
Yeah.
about the clunkiness to it.
No.
It is very
It's
cartoony.
interesting. I will
wanna
definitely say
play
I'd
it.
like to see more of it.
Yes.
It definitely looks like 80s cartoons. I absolutely love this art style.
Yeah.
I don't know,
Mm.
obviously, the gameplay, but holy crap, that
It
looks
does
amazing.
look- I mean,
If
based on the UI and all that.
I recall rightly, it's been developed by Asper, I believe.
Okay,
Aspire, yeah.
what have they
yeah.
done? What have they done in the past?
Well,
They've had a lot of games
they
cancelled
just
recently.
cancelled
Oh,
the
gosh.
DLC for one of the Kota games, didn't they? For the Knights of
Yeah.
the Old Republic.
Right, okay.
Knights of the Old Republic 2
I love that.
extra missions, I think it was, wasn't it? And they've
Yeah.
just outright cancelled them.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
And the
And a
Knights
lot
of the Old
people have
Republic
pre-ordered the
remake as
DLC
well.
and stuff, yeah.
They're the ones do. Okay, I know who they are.
Yeah,
Oh,
I think
that's sad.
yeah, it's a shame, really. But yeah,
Yeah, it
2023
is.
for Myth Force looks kind of cool, if I'm honest.
It does, like,
It does,
visually,
yeah.
it looks cool. I don't know about gameplay. I can't test to that. but that
Based
art
on the
style's great.
screenshots and the videos of it, it sort of looks part Minecrafty, like in terms of its UI design and its first-person models and stuff like that. It will probably be similar to some degree, but I don't know.
I'll have to look into
But it is definitely on my radar to see more information on. So, right, next up we had confirmation of the next Splatfest coming to Splatoon 3.
Oh,
If
gosh.
you don't know, tri-battles
Oh,
are
goodness.
a thing in Splatoon 3, so we've got ice cream.
Ice cream, you scream, we all scream for ice cream.
Oh, gosh.
It's a bit of a
So,
come down from
What was it?
Triforce, isn't it?
Strawberry. What was it? Strawberry, vanilla, and choc chip,
mint.
chocolate.
Yeah, mint
which is
chocolate,
obviously the
yeah.
best flavour. So
Strawberry all the way. I'm afraid. So me and you're on separate teams.
That is the only flavour.
Oh, my gosh.
I shall see
Ooh.
you on the battlefield.
Yeah, the only
I
thing
think
I
still
can
need
add
to
to
pick
this.
up Splatoon 3 though. I don't have it. I've got the second one
Really?
and first, but I don't.
To be fair, I do not play it a lot. I jump into it for the Splatfest every now and again.
Pete.
Oh,
Get my
I-
butt kicked horrendously, and then I think,
Yeah.
yeah, this is not for me.
I don't
plays.
have Switch Online and haven't done for a while, so
you
the game was
did.
somewhat redundant to me. So it was like I don't think I preferred
Ah.
2 over 3 anyway.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cause
I put so many hours into 2, and I just couldn't. Like, for some reason, the weapon balancing, I think they got all wrong on this on
Oh.
3. Like, certain weapons that I really love, they absolutely nerfed them to hell. But then again, the arrow spray was somewhat overpowered in 2, so admittedly probably needed to be done.
Yeah.
So, but the fact that they changed the special weapon with it was
Yeah,
such an
I
annoyance.
know.
Yeah.
I used
That's
to
one
love
thing
the
I
arrow
always.
spray because you'd use the curling ones and they
Yeah,
just
exactly.
stand on. And then when you
Yeah, and then-
finish, you almost had like half the special again anyway. So then you just had to spray
Yeah,
a bit more and you could use it again.
yeah, that was the thing that I discovered really early on, especially in the test fires for Splatoon 2, is if you use the arrow spray with the curling bombs, one of the best things that you could do, especially if you had Ninja Squid ability, throw one of them out and then follow it round, and you could get the jump on so many people. It was ridiculous.
That's one of the
Yeah,
things
I got so many cheap kills from that way.
all I hear is
Nice.
blah 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 blah.
All right, so it's a little help.
I don't know what
Inklings.
those words mean.
Smart thing. Not quite so smart, I must admit.
Of course. Anyway, so that's coming 14th and 16th of July. So yeah, there'll be a lot of Splatfest going on that day, and then the final day, I believe, is when all the tri battles happen, isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
presume so.
Yeah, so it's a new thing that they've done with Splatoon 3, because they have the 3 options, is that you get a tri battle. So I think the team that's got the most wins will have someone in the middle. I've never actually played one of them.
It all up a bit now.
Oh yeah.
I think we've changed it up a little bit now. So as when I was playing for the Legend of Zelda Splatfest, regardless of who was, winning at the time, that everybody almost like took it in turns to be defending and then the 2 attackers.
Oh,
Which
okay,
I
that's
think
quite
works
cool.
out a lot better because it's not just like, oh, well, if you're winning at the moment, you're going to get absolutely, plastered by everybody else. So you'll have no chance of winning the Splatfest in the end anyway. But then it completely threw everything out because then Team Power won absolutely everything. You think, but I beat them most of the time. So anyway,
Depends
doesn't
on how
count
many
on
people.
just me. Obviously, it
there.
counts on the millions of other people that are playing as well. Yeah.
Ah, see,
But I
that's
want it to
disappointing.
matter to me.
Mind you, I got absolutely decimated by Team Wisdom, but they just didn't clutch it.
You just clearly didn't have the courage.
No. Oh, I had the
No.
courage, I just didn't have the power to back it up.
Oh,
Yeah, bad Zelda jokes. You gotta love them. Right, next up we had Detective Pikachu Returns. This is the long-rumoured sequel for Detective Pikachu that came out on the 3DS.
this makes me happy.
Mike is happy!
But see,
So happy he's disappeared.
there you go. But
There you go. There you go.
I have to admit, like the 3DS was totally. I was so into. I had a 3DS. I couldn't do it in
Actually played
3D.
it.
I had to turn it off because I have weird eyes and I can't do the 3D thing. But I love the double screens and all that kind of stuff. So I totally played 3DS and I totally played Detective Pikachu. So I'm very happy to hear this as an outside observer.
I never played Detective Pikachu, actually.
Oh, it's
No,
so
I-
fun. It's
I
fun.
played it for a little bit, to be fair, and I was hoping that it would come to Switch because I didn't have a 3DS, and I only played
right.
it on my brother's 3DS. So it's like, okay, well, as soon as that comes to Switch, I'll definitely be interested because I
thought
wasn't
for
going to buy another console just to play a single game. And seeing as there was rumours, well, it wasn't rumours, even the Pokemon Company said that it was going to come to Switch,
Right.
and then it
Yeah.
just like disappeared for years.
It
then
did.
the film came and went, and we were still waiting.
Mm-hmm.
And then finally, it was announced during the direct. It's like, yay! Finally,
Yeah.
about friggin' time.
There's
But the first one on 3DS is quite short. That was a lot of people's
Yeah.
complaints, I think.
Yes.
yeah.
Well, it
So
was
I
in
wonder
2
if that
parts as well, wasn't it? Because I
I
think in
believe
Japan
so.
it released as in 2 parts, and then I think for the Western release, it actually had both parts together.
I'm pretty sure it originally came
Yeah.
out episodically in Japan, actually.
Yeah, because I
Yeah,
was gonna
that's what I'm
say.
getting at. It
Yeah.
came out in part. I don't know if it was 2 parts or whatnot, or if it was 3 or 4.
Yeah, because it
Yeah.
was around about that buzz when Life is Strange and all that was out, and they're releasing episodic content. So Nintendo, I think, wanted to get on board with that same thing.
Boo.
And I suppose it kind of
Right,
worked
it's
in a
the
way
train.
because they did it like cases, so it's like small chapters, and then people can work on the case or whatnot in the game, and then wait until the next one comes out.
Phoenix Wright, the Pokemon game.
Okay. Side.
Oh, objection.
Exactly. Bunny Trail, right quick. So over on Steam, which has nothing to do with Nintendo, there
I
is.
thought you were about to say
Remaining.
Nintendo games are on Steam. Be
No.
careful.
No.
No
There-
more tangents. It's completely
I'm pretty sure the
now.
Yuzu emulator got blocked on there. By
We won't talk about emulators. Emus.
I was just about to say that emoji.
See, I know.
Like, you've been on the show too much. You're now on Kylie's wavelength. This is how
Yeah.
it happens.
Emus and ROMs, that's what I'm all about. But no, over on Steam there is this new game. It's about a month old. And it is like believe it or not, it weirdly reminds me of Detective Pikachu. So I promise it is connected. But it is a procedure.
This is starting to sound like an N-Life article now.
But it is a
How
procedure.
did you know that I was using Nintendo Life as our source today?
Exactly. Because that's the only
Check
source
out this
we
new
use.
console that kind of looks like a Switch and is inspired by the Switch, but it's got nothing to do with the Switch.
It's called the Asus ROG.
Oh my gosh. Oh, don't even get me started. But anyway, oh my
Sorry,
gosh.
Kylie, I'm derailing you now.
I
No,
know.
I know, and I'm just like
You
thinking.
derailed the derailment.
I'm thinking of all the handhelds. I really, really
Don't
want a
bring it
Steam
back on
Deck.
track.
No, for real.
That did not happen.
There is
No.
a procedurally generated detective game over on Switch right now, and it is in kind of 8-bit.
Detective Gorachu.
Do what? Say it again.
Detective Gorachu.
Yep. There you
Oh
go.
my god. Thanks, Steve, for those really cheap knockoffs that we clean.
I love Steam knockoffs. I'm a
Honestly.
sucker for that. I'm also, you know what I'm also a sucker for over on Steam that's not Nintendo Switch, which is what we're supposed to be talking about. Anything that is rated 2 stars or under, I'm just like, I am there. I can't help it. I just like, I love those awful
I'm sorry,
games.
but you've only got yourself to blame.
I do love awful games because it's like I think about like why did you put that much? It's not a lot of effort, but you still had to put some effort into it. Why did you do that? You know, that type of thing. So
Okay,
anyway,
alright, I get you.
yeah, that was totally a tangent. Go look up this procedurally generated game on Steam that just came out and it's awesome.
I'm
Also
not
the title.
linking it. I'm not linking it.
Anyway, Pete, continue on.
Right, so Detective Pikachu Returns comes out on the 6th of October 2023. I haven't played Detective Pikachu. I kind of think this is a bit of a mistake not porting the original game.
Oh,
to
okay. I'm gonna
Switch.
agree with you there because I do love the original Detective Pikachu. I do love that, and I also love the movie.
It's not
Yeah.
that there's like rights issues, is there? Because there's
Ooh.
I don't know.
more hands in the pie than regular. I don't know.
That might be the case, to be
That's a
honest,
good
but I'm
question.
surprised they haven't. So I think it was somewhat surprising they didn't. So who knows? Maybe nearer the time, Pokemon Company
never
might
know.
go, here we go. Oh, we're getting preparing up for 6th of October. Here we go.
Shadow drop.
Yeah.
There you go.
Try to drop the one, or if they see that Detective Pikachu Returns is being pretty successful, they think,
Yeah.
oh,
Yeah.
let's
That's
cash in
yeah.
on this. Let's
Yeah,
release one
yeah.
as well.
also very true. Okay,
What's
Let's
Moving
watch.
on.
let's broach this one
Uh-oh.
because
Strap in. Strap on.
strap
and
in
strap
for this
in.
one, lads and lady.
Did you say strap in or strap on?
I said strap in, definitely this time.
Family Guy Blue Harvest joke for
I
you.
know. So I want you to picture the scene. I'm sitting there on my lunch break, enjoying the nice British weather.
Oh dear.
When I'm watching this Nintendo Direct, I'm sitting in a very crowded area, let's say.
Oh goodness.
And the image came up, and I went,
"Yep."
"Oh my god, they haven't done it, have they?"
This is
What
what.
did you think when you first saw it? Did you think?
I don't want to say yet. Let's get to that in a minute.
This is what prompted this episode, by the way.
So
He was
I went,
so excited.
and let it be known, this was all out loud.
I believe
Not to
it.
myself. This is out loud.
100%. This is Pete.
They're not doing it, are they? Because I'd heard some rumours, and then
so excited.
they're not doing it, and then the next screen came up and went, the fucking madmen did it. What the hell?
He was so excited. And
I've watched this
excited
trailer
for
7 times now. This is Super Mario RPG remake, and just for context, give me a second.
Oh goodness.
In September of 2021, I made an appearance on a certain podcast called What the Frick Do You Want? To put it contextually nicely, where I said that if this game ever got remade, I would lose my shit.
So many
I've
goose
been
humps.
waiting years.
Pete was, like I said, this literally prompted this episode and getting you guys on here. Because Pete, from day freaking 1 of this podcast, this has been
happy.
This has been his, like, holy grail. If this could just happen. And it has now happened, Pete. Please tell our listeners and viewers what has happened to make you so excited.
Super Mario RPG Remake has now become an actual thing. With remade visuals, remade music. It's been confirmed that Yoko Shimomura is coming back to do the soundtrack.
Great. That's
And
amazing.
holy hell. And holy hell, not only have they looked like they've one-to-one this, but that art style, yes.
I should state for the record, I played this on a ROM on an emulator.
I had to. It didn't get released in the UK.
Which I didn't know about till Pete told me.
Until the Wii.
Pete told me that.
I also played it via ROM, I will admit.
I played it via ROM. Look, anybody
I've
out
played
there
about
who's
10 minutes of it, same method, but I've never done the all the way through.
Oh, I did enjoy
honestly,
it. I have to
is
admit.
one of the. I hate to. Look, just because
I've
it's
heard great
new,
things.
everyone's going to say the same thing, and I've seen this a lot, but I've said this on numerous occasions. It's been quoted, you can quote it on numerous times. This is the greatest Mario game of all time. And this set the benchmark, essentially, for what became Paper Mario.
It did, 100%. You can see.
It was an issue with trying to develop the sequel with Square. They're falling out over Final Fantasy and cartridges that led to Nintendo then going themselves to make Paper Mario.
Yep.
That was originally, because in Japan it was originally called Super Mario RPG 2.
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
I did not know
We
that.
probably talked about that, but
We probably did, yes. But this is coming out on November 17th, 2023, and I'm not even going to lie, it's already pre-ordered and paid for.
I believe that.
Nice.
I know how much Pete has looked forward to this. I mean, like I said, I didn't play it, obviously. I mean, I had to play it on a ROM. Of course, I played it on a ROM in the US. So,
Which is weird, because you actually got physical versions of it
yeah,
over there. And
but-
God damn you!
again, laziness. I totally own the games.
I know.
Ha ha. But it was very enjoyable. At the time, I was a huge Square Enix fangirl.
Phoenix.
I was.
Excuse.
For...
Squaresoft, thank you.
Oh, sorry.
Well, yeah.
Yes, I stand corrected, Squaresoft. I was a huge fangirl back then. I kind of faded since then. So, which is why I played this, and it is a well put together RPG. Like, when I started it, I will say this. I thought, it's a Mario game. It's what is it? Mario is missing and all those kind of weird, yeah, exactly. And that's what I was expecting.
Mario's time machine.
Yes, that. I was 100% expecting that. I do not kid you. That is what I was expecting. Instead, I got served a complete actual RPG with all the RPG elements that I loved and adored at the time. And I was like, holy crap.
Yes.
So
look, I wasn't expecting that at all when I played it as well.
Mm-hmm.
So it was a pleasant surprise because I don't tend to play RPGs either.
That's right, you don't.
Oh my
That's
god,
right.
this is still fantastic. But yeah,
Whew.
my one hope, and if they're 1-to-1 in this game, I really do hope that Secret Boss comes back. I won't spoil it for those people who don't know it, so don't worry.
Oh my gosh. So the question then goes to you two. We can start with
I'm gonna stop squealing like a girl now.
No, not at all, Pete. This is all you, buddy. We're just here to root and support you. I mean, I played the game on the emulator. I will say that because, to be fair, at the time when I did play it, I was living in a caravan and did not have a lot of money. So emulation was the only thing we had. Didn't even have a Nintendo console at the time.
No, I didn't
either. That was how things were.
I was living in what...
I did thoroughly enjoy that game, and I was hoping that it may be one of them games that would get a remake, and then I saw a lot of people talking about it, and then it just never happened. And then with Super Smash Brothers and people wanting the Geno outfit in Smash Bros as well, or they wanted Geno in it, didn't they?
Yeah,
they did. Yeah.
So I mean, at least you got something. At least it was close. But now fans are actually going to be able to have it. The only thing now, I've got no problem with the actual art design of it. I absolutely love the art design. I just think that the cover art, I know it's reminiscent of this
rubbish.
That just white background. It's just a bit. It feels like it could have something in the background.
I really think that
with the sword in the back of it. It just seems a bit plain.
I agree. They should have had Bowser's Castle with Smithy's sword through the middle of it.
Ooh, yeah. That would have been cool. That would have been very cool. Yeah. So, Rob, what are your thoughts on this?
Yeah, I'm very excited for it. But I've not played it all the way through. I've just as you do when you're doing emulation, you just test things out and whatnot.
Yeah.
Are you an RPG fan? Do you play RPGs?
Yeah. I've played a few different ones. But I'll definitely pick this up and
how is your levels when it comes to classic Final Fantasies 1 through 6?
It's my favorite.
So, not played those either. Oh, because I sort of missed them when I did just buy. It took forever to arrive from PlayAsia. I ordered the physical copy of 1 to 6. The pixel.
Oh yes, of course.
So, problem is it arrived as because it's so delayed, as I've just started playing Tears of the Kingdom.
Oh,
yeah.
I've not touched it yet, but
and
then died before.
That's understandable.
I would say if you get a chance to before Mario RPG comes out, try either 4 or 6 because they're probably going to be the closest you're going to get to playing Mario RPG. It will get you familiar with the mechanics at least.
I've heard good things about 6, definitely.
6 is
fantastic. Yes, they did.
Yeah.
They also, in terms of the way they play, I think they're about 1-to-1 to Mario RPG as well.
See, well, that's the thing. When I was going into this Mario RPG, I'm not kidding. I was a die-hard Final Fantasy fan girl. But I'm talking about the original 6, which was 3 in the US. I don't know why.
Strangeness.
Yeah, it's weird. But that 1 through 6, and of course we've talked about 7 on here. 7 was my whole everything in my whole existence as a gamer girl became awareness through Final Fantasy 7. But 1 through 6 were so amazing, and then to go from 1 through 6 to playing Mario RPG, it was seamless. Like I said, I was not expecting that. I never expected that. I really, literally was expecting Mario is missing. I kid you not. And I
when you
was blown
say
away.
Mario is missing, I've played one of those, and it's not the one that people would normally associate with Mario
Really?
is missing. Yeah.
Did you play the
Okay.
NES version by any chance?
Sorry?
Did you play the NES version?
Was there a NES version?
No,
I think
what
there
it
was.
it wasn't actually a game, it was a video, and it was all about Princess Peach doing things that are
Oh.
not very princessy. Yeah.
Okay, let's move on away from that.
Oh!
one then.
Please do, yes.
Speaking of
Carry on.
Princess Peach, that is the segue to end all segues. Well done, Mike. We got confirmation that Nintendo are working and showed off a little bit of gameplay of an untitled
Oh, goodness.
Switch Peach game. So this is coming out in 2024. So this is the first Peach game that we've had since the DS, which was Super Princess Peach. Didn't go down too well, unfortunately, that game on the
Aw.
DS. But, well, I think this one looks pretty incredible, actually, what they
It
did
looks-
show.
It looks a little bit, you know, we haven't seen much, but it does look a little bit like Thousand Year Door. The sort
Yes.
of,
Oh,
the little
right.
side-scrolly bits. It looks a bit.
I will admit,
familiar
yes.
there.
Yeah, a bit of Thousand Year Door and a bit of
Okay.
like Super Paper Mario in there as well.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I can see that where you're coming from with that one. Definitely got that myself. So I'm interested to see more information because there's transformations, but they decided to start showing it, but not show the rest of it. So liberties,
yeah.
very nice. I like that. So yeah, 2024 for that one. So at least shows some more stuff. Speaking of 2024. Luigi's Mansion 2
Oh,
Dark
goodness.
Moon is getting a remaster for the Switch.
Oh,
Meaning
goodness.
that we have 2 Luigi's Mansions
I
games on there.
Yeah,
Weird they didn't confirm the first one coming back.
that's
Yeah.
weird.
I suppose because the first one already got a re-release on the 3DS, though it does seem
Which is-
weird that they didn't just bring to Switch as well.
But that's what I mean. That's why I figure it being a little bit weird, because surely they would want to do it as a double pack.
Could have done,
that
yeah,
way.
they could have done like they did with the. No, that's spoilers. So.
Thank you, BuzzTube
Come on,
TV.
Get to that in a moment, but I know where you're going with it, yeah.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
yeah, 20.
Thank you for
2024
following.
for that one. Oh, awesome! Thank you, thank you. Yeah, so that's going to be interesting to see because I really did enjoy Luigi's Mansion 3, and I never played Dark Moon at the time, so it'll be interesting to go back and play it now. Yes. Next up, welcome to the Madhouse, Bats, because the Arkham trilogy is coming to the Switch
Right,
in fall of
okay.
2023.
Let's talk about this.
Let's do, because this has
All
seemed
over
to
you,
have conjured
Kylo.
Yeah.
well, this has conjured up quite a lot of interesting discussion of, and specifically of, oh, the only game that never came out on 360 and PS3, how's that going to play on the Switch? And that's Arkham Knight.
I do
So,
wonder
it's
that.
just- I have heard that the physical edition, as with a lot of these, there's only the first game on the cart, and then the other 2 are downloads. Annoyingly.
Yeah, unfortunately, we're going to get
Ah.
back to that with another collection that was shown off on this
yeah.
Direct too. So, yeah,
So,
why did they do this?
I don't know.
for
Don't
people
know.
like me,
Well, this is it, isn't it? They're supposed to be what? I think the cards are standard. They're 32 gigabytes or something like that. And then
It's either
Nintendo
16 or
do.
32.
Yeah. You get
Yeah.
different sizes, I think.
Yeah.
Right.
So it's whether or not I
So-
believe Nintendo helped to foot the bill in terms of the cart costs.
Mm.
It doesn't appear that WB have done a deal with them.
No. So
That's
I mean,
interesting.
obviously, the game now. They came out on like earlier systems. So if like
They
the
did.
first game or first 2 games did come out on the 360 or whatever, it's not going to be as huge in gigabytes. I would have thought.
Yeah,
what,
I think not.
what was the Xbox
Maybe
disc capacity?
8
No idea.
or 9 gigabytes for the first game. So then, yeah, I can see them having like 1 on the cart and then the other 2 being downloads. Or they do the other route where they have only part of a game or part of the 3 games on the cart, and you still have to download the 3, which is even more maddening.
Yeah.
Well-
So Rob, in terms of your question there, I know the Blu-ray discs for the PS3 had 4.7 gigabytes, so
Right. Okay.
they managed to get obviously the whole thing on there, and they had exclusive content
But-
for the PlayStation version as well, which was all the Joker side stuff,
Yes.
like all the challenge rooms, and they were awesome.
Don't forget though, the Switch got Witcher 3 on there.
You mean Switcher 3?
Hey.
Switcher 3. Which to me was like the pinnacle of the Switch abilities, you know. I mean, maybe I'm
It's
wrong
not
because
the same because it's a much lower resolution, isn't it? So the file
oh, is
size
it?
yeah.
is a lot
Okay, see,
smaller.
I wouldn't know that. Okay.
Yeah. So the
Okay.
the resolution rate on the Switch version of
Is it like
Witcher is like
540?
568p.
Yeah.
In even in
Right.
handheld mode, it's quite.
Mm.
I think it does
Really?
go to 720 on docks, but obviously it will take a bit of a hit on the frame rate.
Right.
But the fact that they got the whole game plus all
That's
the
the
add-ons
thing.
to it was quite an accomplishment.
So who's porting Batman? Do you know?
We don't know. I don't know if we know, but I'll see if I can find out quick.
Penguin.
That'll work.
Part, yeah.
Oh gosh,
I just thought it was Hugo.
oh goodness, I do love the Batman, but all of the Arkham everything. I never remember the names of them. I'm very bad about that, but I would like to see them.
Arkham Knight, Arkham Asylum, and
Origins
Arkham
else?
City.
and City.
Arkham Origin.
Yeah, they haven't got Arkham Origins in the collection.
Okay,
No.
which is probably good because I think that's the bad one. I don't know.
Apparently so.
I remember watching a friend play the Xbox 360 ones in uni, but I've never played them
Nice.
myself.
I enjoy
Arkham
them
Asylum
very
is
much.
still one of my favourite games of all time. It's incredible.
Is that the one where they cordon off the city and all the bad
No,
guys?
that's Arkham City.
Okay. Oh, duh. That's my favorite of those, but I'm never gonna remember the names of them because that's too much for my brain. But
Okay.
It's an
absolutely-
Arkham game.
Yeah, that's
It's
me.
Batman.
I'm like, it's got Batman in it, and it's got Joker.
Batman.
The one I'm playing now, you like set Joker on, like you cremate him in the beginning. I didn't
Arkham
really.
Knight.
Yeah, I didn't like that. That was
Who's the
weird.
Joker?
Yeah. And I love the Joker, so that felt weird.
Yeah, story-wise, it comes into play a bit later on. I won't tell you what happens though.
Okay, because I didn't like that.
Okay.
Yes.
Anyway.
Who's
Let's.
gonna pick it up? Any of us?
If it wasn't for the fact that 2 of the 3 games was having to be downloaded, I definitely would have done. Other than that, I'll probably just go and pick up the Arkham Collection on PS4 instead.
Oh, goodness. See,
Oh, because they all come on the disc.
well, we have established here, I want to reiterate this because it's going to come up next week as well. We have established this. P is into physical. I'm into digital.
Yeah. So I might just do that. But they did. I think they did confirm that you could buy each of the games separately. So I might just buy Asylum on the
There
Switch
you
so I can
go.
play it on the go.
Oh, my
God.
goodness.
Anyway, shall we hop through a couple of these announcements because we're at an hour and 15 now and we've only got to bloody Arkham.
Oh, goodness. Okay.
Right,
Yes,
so
go
next up
for
we
it.
had Gloomhaven. So this is coming out on 18th of September 2023.
The cards thingies.
Yes, that's the one.
Oh, okay.
Not much of my style of games, card games, but look, card games, if they're your thing, you might like it. Who knows?
Yeah.
It did look interesting at least.
I like Marvel
Um,
Snap.
It does look a
Yes.
little complex, but
Yes. It will be one of those ones that you'll get a pretty heavy tutorial in it and it will teach you everything you
Yeah.
need to know and then it will become second nature.
Oh, I love that.
At least they weren't shouting about it like Marvel Snap was.
Look, I love Marvel Snap.
I look like I'm on cocaine! Right, next up, Just Dance 2024. Nobody cares, let's move on.
Oh gosh. Did you know? Sidetrack time.
No.
No,
Yes.
do it!
So I like really love. Okay, so if you're in CrossFit, which is what I'm into, You have this shoes because Reebok sponsors CrossFit, so they make these shoes called Nanos, and I buy them whenever they come out, and I really like
The shoes are available.
Yes, I really like the colorful ones, and so I literally just bought the Just Dance Nanos, and they're beautiful, and I love them. So that is my contribution to this discussion.
Does that count as DLC or?
Yes,
or not?
my shoes are
It's
DLC.
probably additional costumes.
Buy them separately.
I mean, it is a Ubisoft game, so it would make a lot of sense.
But I'll tell you what, though. So the Just Dance logo is in the soles, and I've worn them so much that the Just Dance logos have come out now. So now you don't know they're Just Dance shoes.
Now it just says,
Yay, cosmetics, my DLC in real life. Anyway.
Right, next up we had Silent Hope. This one's coming out in 3rd of October. I can see the Rob's somewhat excited, so do you want to talk about this one?
It does look very good. It's sort of
What is it?
sort of ARPG elements, which obviously
Ooh.
are massive.
Oh, yes, it was this one, of
With
course.
the-
That would
the-
be why
the
it didn't...
Yeah, swordy, swipey, slashy. Yeah,
Ooh, I
very
like
much into
that.
that.
Nice. So,
The
yeah.
storyline sounds good as well.
That's
Okay.
cool.
The stolen voices kind of. I saw someone say, "Oh, it's good because it won't have any pointless dialogue because they're all silent." So,
I like that.
Oh, yeah, of course. It was the one where they said that the voices have been stolen or something.
Yeah.
Was it?
Oh,
Yeah, I
gosh,
remember
that's
now.
Cool.
definitely going to pick that one up, I think.
Honestly, it did look interesting, but as soon as I saw ARPG in the gameplay, I was like, yeah, it's probably not for me, you know. But hey,
Yeah, right up
everyone,
my
each
street.
their own. Yeah.
That is Pete.
Right, next up we had Fae Farm. This is now the 4th time that we've seen Fae Farm because it's appeared nearly in every single show.
Does
So,
it appear in
yeah,
the indies one as well? Is that what I was saying?
it did appear in the indies. I think it was at Summer Games Fest as well.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
8th September for this one. This was the obligatory. We need to add a cozy game in there for the cozy game fans. So let's do it. So yeah, it's 8th September. I'm sure we've seen enough. So Hot Wheels Unleashed 2 Turbocharged.
I love
actually
Hot
looks
Wheels.
really cool.
Hot Wheels is so much fun.
Yeah. So 19th of October for this one. This is a Hot Wheels racing game, as you can probably gather.
Yes.
Fun. So
Hot
if you probably
Wheels and
played any
Micro
of the,
Machines.
yeah, if you played the Micro Machines or if you played the Forza Horizon stuff with the Hot Wheels stuff, then you'll probably know what you're going to get with this.
I love that. So
Yeah.
much fun.
Right. Next up, we had Manic Mechanics. Cool name aside. That's coming out on 13th of July. I don't remember this one as well. I think I was really on a come down here from Super Mario RPG. if I'm
Oh
honest.
gosh, Pete didn't
Overcooked,
care after
but-
that.
Overcooked engines instead,
Oh.
Okay.
essentially.
And dead
Okay.
batteries.
Yeah. Chuck a wheel across the garage, it just lands on the car and bolts itself.
Go. I like that.
Overcooked, but for car. Yeah, I got you now. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm just looking at screenshots of it now. Yeah,
Yeah.
I can see the over.
Fun party
stuff.
game, I guess.
I'm sure it will be. Yeah. So,
Especially when drunk.
yeah. I mean, there may be another game that comes up later that will perfectly fit that, but we'll get to that.
Oh goodness.
So next up, we had the Mario Rabbids Sparks of Hope: The Last Spark Hunter DLC. So this is Wave 2 of the DLC. This is coming
Yeah.
out. It's already out.
Yep.
So yeah, it's out now. So go and play it if you're interested in Sparks of Hope. This actually, looks like they've done some work with the engine as well. Looks interesting. Looks good.
That's cool.
I've still yet to play it myself. I've got the game. I've thoroughly enjoyed the Mario Rabbids games, and
Yeah.
I've played through the first wave of DLC, and this weekend has just run away from me, and no chance to play it yet. But I will
it's
eventually.
gonna be, yeah, it'll be one of those games that I'll do exactly what I did with Kingdom Battle, where I'll probably pick it up when it's on a sale, and probably
And
get the
most
gold
likely
edition
will
with
be.
it as well.
Yeah, which inevitably will be at some point.
Of course, it's unfortunately don't like to support Ubisoft, but if I can get it cheap, then I will.
I mean, yeah, there's no real good guys anymore.
On that front, because obviously they've got very, very big similar issues with like what's happening with Blizzard and Activision and stuff like that. And
Yeah.
we, as a rule, as well on our site, we don't, support them, but we do personally support like Davide's team and
I was
Grant
gonna say.
Kirkhope, and we
Yeah,
just like to
exactly,
think that
that's
their team,
why.
for example,
Yep.
is not. participating in what's going on in a whole in the
Course, yeah.
company, and it's just
Yes.
a separate issue. So
Absolutely.
it's more of a personal support to them rather than supporting the actual company itself.
Of course, yeah. And
100%.
let's be honest, this is wave 2 of DLC. I'm going to be perfectly honest here. No, I'm pretty sure not many people were really going to care about this when they know Rayman's just around the corner in wave 3.
Oh,
So yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's
that's
what
what
they're here for, baby.
That's what. Well, suddenly went all Austin Powers there, baby.
Man, remember when we said Rayman was never coming out?
I mean, that aged like milk.
That
didn't
was
it?
like our first episode, Pete.
I know that aged like hot milk.
See, usually
right.
we predict things correctly. Like we predict them way in
Simpsons.
advance.
We've got
We
a track
are, we're
record
like
that's
this,
close
yes.
to the Simpsons.
Very close. Simpsons, yeah. But Rayman, we got that wrong. That was just
I got
wrong.
that very, very wrong. Right. Next up, Dragon Quest Monsters: The Dark Prince. This is coming out in December 2023.
That's cool.
I'm not gonna lie, this looks cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Love
It
Dragon
does,
Quest.
and it's not necessarily my jam, so to speak, but I know that a lot of people are going to really, really like it and enjoy it, me
Yeah.
including, Dragon Quest fans and stuff like that. I mean, I very much enjoyed Dragon Quest Builders. That was really, really fun. I've not been really big into the actual series itself, but I did very much enjoy Dragon Quest Builders and Dragon Quest Builders 2. I can see this game giving the Pokemon Company a bit of a kick up the bum as regards to, stepping up their gear with
Right.
graphics
Okay.
and stuff like that, because this game does look good.
Yeah, this is the
Yeah.
one that you were talking about earlier. Then, okay, good stuff.
I love
yeah, I know a
Quest.
few personally. I know a few Dragon Quest fans, and they've been eaten well very recently. So
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
keep eating
we
well,
had
Dragon
Dragon
Quest
Quest,
fans.
we had the other one that was released as well, didn't we?
Yeah, well, you've had Dragon Quest 11, like that's obviously gone down a storm.
Oh,
Builders 1 and
announced
2.
as well, isn't it? I think.
12 has
Dragon-
been announced, yeah,
Yeah.
and it looks like it might be going in a darker direction from
Mm.
that. So that
Yeah.
could be interesting. But yeah, Dragon Quest fans, Square Enix are feeding you well at the moment. Good stuff.
Yeah.
Next up, I believe we may have a Pikmin fan here
Oh goodness. Which one of
because
you?
Pikmin 4 was shown in some detail.
Oh goodness.
Yes, indeed.
Which people
So-
have been clamoring
Is Jonathan in the
for.
chat?
Yeah,
I
right?
thought Mike might have been the Pikmin fan, but hey.
No,
I'm a
Jonathan-
little bit, well,
Oh.
I have played Pikmin 3 and I do play Pikmin Bloom on occasion. And I did actually get a code for Pikmin 1 and 2. It took a little while getting through to Nintendo, but they sent the code over for us. But Jonathan will be playing that. He is a huge Pikmin fan.
Okay. We picked the wrong person from Mike Tendo to talk about this.
Oh,
I think that's the first
Right.
thing.
very much
Thank you.
looking forward to it. I've got it pre-ordered. Thank you.
Good.
There you
Fair
go.
enough, fair enough. I'm personally not a Pikmin fan myself. I tried to play the demo for free and just couldn't get into it. So I had also tried to play Pikmin 1 when it first released on the GameCube. Yeah, GameCube
1's
controller was
is-
not the greatest.
Well,
Yeah, Pikmin 1's tough. It's like
I
a
was
bit
gonna
Yeah.
say.
unnecessarily brutal.
It was really, really brutal. But
Yeah.
I mean, I can see the merit in it. I see what they're trying to do with it. It looks a lot of fun. It's just it's not a game for me. Fair enough. Not everything is for everyone, but this
That
does
is
look
true.
really, really cool.
Yeah. I'm they're doing a physical edition of the first two, I think in September, early September.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna wait for that. Get that.
That was the next thing that I did was Pikmin 1 and 2 got shadow dropped on the day with a physical version coming out on the 22nd of September, much like they did last year with Metroid Prime.
Oh yeah, that's
So
true.
it seems to be, or was it? No, it was earlier this year actually. I did Metroid Prime.
This
Yeah.
time.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's
I can't remember
interesting.
now. Was it March?
it was March, yeah, and then the
Ah.
physical released in April, I believe.
And then it took
So
a
you-
couple of more weeks for Europe as well, or something. It was
Yeah, because there was some sort of delay or something.
Mm.
So yeah, very
As
weird
usual.
one, but yeah, Pikmin fans, another one. You've now
So you
got
can have all
every
four.
single.
On the
Yeah,
same
you've got all
console
four.
now.
You're gonna have all four games on the same
Which is
console.
really
You
good.
can- and To be honest, great way to get you hyped for Pikmin 4. Get 1 and 2 on there, replay 3 again.
Rob,
So, brilliant.
Rob, I want to ask you, is your avatar on Discord, is that a Pikmin?
It might be.
Yeah. I knew it!
It is a lot Pikmin. Yes, I do quite like the Pikmin games.
Okay, I thought so. I thought so. I was like, wait a minute.
Yeah, I thought I saw it somewhere, which is why I said one of us might be a Pikmin fan.
Yeah, that's what I was like. Okay, wait, it's Rob. It's the Pikmin fan.
Rob, what do you think of the new changes to Pikmin 4?
Good, really good. I do like the idea you can finally go out at night now.
Yes.
I kind of wish you could do it with all, because it sounds like you can just do it with the glow Pikmin, and it's just you're restricted to that, which is a bit. I wish you could do it with all of them, and that'd be more fun. But it's a good concept, Finally do it. And
I mean, considering how long you guys have been waiting for Pikmin 4, I think glad that it's finally on the horizon, because that game's been confirmed for various different consoles.
Oh my gosh! Yeah.
Yes.
One of the very first questions that Jonathan ever asked me, ever, in Rapid Review's history, was, are you a Pikmin fan? Unfortunately, no, but I do know of it, and I recognize it. Obviously. Yeah, there you go. That's what he said, too.
She's got to play the Switch first. I'm pretty sure they may have a Steam knockoff somewhere.
But I mean,
maybe he was hoping you wasn't a Pikmin fan, so then he could get the review codes for the game.
Maybe that was it. That was it. It was competition. But look, I'm enough that I recognized that Rob's avatar was a Pikmin.
Yeah.
So who knows? There's hope there. There's hope yet.
There was always hope. So next up,
you could always get Pikmin Bloom on your iPad, couldn't you?
Oh my gosh! If you can play it on iPad.
Do you really see? No, because the thing is, you need to actually go outside and walk about with Pikmin Bloom.
No, not like Pokemon. Okay, so here we go. Tangent. So okay. So you know how there's you know how there's the Pokemon Go game, and I have mentioned this. I'm pretty sure I've mentioned this.
You mean Pokemon Go to the polls?
Yes, Pokemon. Oh gosh, don't remind me, Pete. Don't remind me.
Sorry, Hillary putting in jokes there.
There is an IRL, an in real life game called Seek it's on iOS and Android. I have a terrible Android. I'm an iOS person. I'm an Apple girl.
iOS.
I've never heard anyone call it iOS either.
iOS.
Really? Oh my gosh.
iOS.
Oh my gosh. Wow. Yeah,
it's weird. Ew.
You Philistines.
I'm such an Apple fan. I call it iOS.
Yeah, I miss my Apple phone. Like, I want to sell this dadgum stupid Android that I have. It's supposed to be amazing. I hate it. I'm an iOS girl. I'm an Apple girl. No, all of that aside, there is an app that is both on iOS and Android called Seek. And it is in
Sorry, I just saw Rob's face there. It's just so
It's just so... Okay. I'll try not to.
iOS, okay.
I'm not watching, I promise.
iOS, but it's called Seek. Seek. And it is just like Pokemon, but it's in real life, and I love it. It's my favorite app, and I don't remember why I brought it up, but it's a really cool app.
Pikmin Bloom, that's why.
That's why. A couple of weeks ago when I was out, I talked about it on the show when I was climbing Cave Hill here in Belfast, and I ran across a European black slug, and I was so excited. I was able to put that into my Seek Rolodex, my Pokédex. I was very excited.
Yeah,
so
there you go, Rob. You've now realised that the tangents do somewhat make sense eventually.
They do. You just gotta hang on until the end.
Back to previous episodes.
Yeah, the art of a good storyteller is keeping you on the edge of the seat until the very end.
Till the end. So go download Seek, no matter what. If you're on iOS. And Android. Anyway, Pete,
let's move on. So next we had another collection that's also been shown at another show, but now obviously official confirmation that it is coming to the Switch. with a caveat.
Oh dear.
Metal Gear Solid Master Collection Volume 1, which is due to come on the 24th of October 2023. It's the game that this collection includes, for the very first time, apart from the Twin Snakes, Metal Gear Solid 1, Metal Gear Solid 2, Metal Gear Solid 3, and Metal Gear 1 and 2, and it was also confirmed that it also had the NES versions of Metal Gear and Metal Gear Snakes Revenge as well.
So crazy. I liked those
games that had nothing to do with Hideo Kojima.
No, it didn't. But that was my first intro into Metal Gear. I say that, but it was actually on PlayStation that I had my first intro
that would be
to.
Metal Gear
Yeah,
Solid,
I was
but
gonna say, yeah.
This compared to the Batman games, there's really sort of no excuse for everything being on the cart. Because some of these are so small and tiny that...
Right.
That's
you know.
it, isn't it? I mean, they were on, like you said, like
PS2.
Metal Gear Solid 2, that was on the PS2.
Yes.
Metal Gear Solid was
why?
on the original PlayStation, so we are talking literal like kilobytes now.
Yep.
Well, it'll be the most amount of data that you could have on a CD was obviously 850 megabytes. So combine the two discs, you're gonna get over a gig at this point. But still, there's no excuse.
No.
None at all. I mean, I could see it possibly because I know there's somebody, I think it was Mitchell on Twitter, and he was saying about it as well, saying that there's only like one game on the cartridge and everything else has to be like downloaded. And it's like, well, if it was the bonus content like the soundtrack and like the art book and all that stuff, I can understand that because I've seen other companies do that kind of thing. I think it was like Koei Tecmo when they did like the Ninja Gaiden games. They had like the trilogy, and then it's like there's an optional art book which you can download for the Switch. It's like, okay, well, I can see that making sense, but the fact that it's like, oh, no, there's only going to be like one game on it, and then you think, but isn't there like another 7 or 8 in the collection? So what, you got to download all of them? There's no sense as to why they can't fit pretty much all of them games on the car. I mean, most of the processing speed or whatever would be on the Switch itself, so everything on the card would just be read-only memory.
It
would be,
100%,
Look, to be fair, some of the implementation of what they're doing with the collection, I quite like the fact that they've obviously included all the soundtracks to be able to be listened to as MP3s on the go. I like that option because Harry Gregson Williams' soundtracks are phenomenal.
But
they are phenomenal.
It's all on Spotify.
I don't care.
I know this because
I can play the game and then go, oh, look, I got my Switch with me. Why bring my phone out when I could just listen to them on there?
Just hold your Switch up to your ear.
Put it on the Switch without ads and just play them and listen to them as much as you like. If you do it with Spotify, for example, and if you haven't got a paid subscription, you play like the first song, and then you get about 3 different songs, and it's like, okay, I'll skip, and then you skip one of the songs that you would want to listen to.
See, I have not only a paid subscription to Spotify, but it plays through my BMW, so...
Right, wonderful. So also, this isn't the first time we've seen this feature because Smash Brothers Ultimate did it, and I'm not gonna lie, I sat there at work having it as my MP3 player with my Joy-Con out so I could do the Switch.
You told me about that.
And someone looked at me and went, "Why are you playing games with your desk?" I went, "Oh, I'm actually listening to music."
It's flat.
Yep. Pete told me about that. But then, Pete, you did share with me your Spotify listening thing.
Yes, I did.
So, these are great, but all of this is on Spotify. So
I know where they are, but it's just a novel thing for people who didn't know that, alright?
Okay.
Or people who might have been experiencing the game for the first time.
Oh, I can't even imagine.
I know.
That's
ridiculous.
Really cool, though. Oh.
Anyway, 24th of October. Do better, Konami. Every time I say that. Right, next up, Vampire Survivors is finally coming to the Switch. This is the BAFTA award-winning game, you know. Has caused a massive storm, so good to see it finally on the Switch.
That's
17th
really cool.
of August, this is coming along. Next up, we had a game called Headbangers Rhythm Royale.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
That sounds very cool.
Just because it says Headbangers.
This
Is
is for
it
the
a-
same Just Dance audience, I think.
I was gonna say, is it a rhythm game?
It may well.
Do they
be.
make Reebok
It's,
Nanos?
Team 17, isn't it?
Oh, it is a Teen 17 game. I was trying to remember
Oh,
what
okay,
it was, but yeah,
okay.
the art style does at least.
That's why I was
It's
going
all
to yeah.
yeah. It's essentially a battle royale with music and pigeons. So it's like
Oh,
What?
I really like that.
I thought I was having like some summer fever dream here at this point.
I
like,
love
what
rhythm
the hell is
games.
going on?
I can't help it.
At first, I just thought it was an advert.
Oh my goodness.
You thought Nintendo had put a pre-roll in there? Oh my god. Yeah, 31st of October. So yeah, this is a Halloween joke. Okay.
Oh goodness.
Anyway, next up we had Penny's Big Breakaway.
What is? Wait,
remember
that
this.
sounds familiar. What is
This is
that?
a thing with a load of penguins that look a bit like Sonic. Or look like scuffed Sonic.
Oh, Pete,
Damn
you
it.
Yeah,
love
I
You would have
know.
thought I'd be well into this then.
Pete loves penguins. That's his thing. Mine is pandas, and Pete is penguins. Oh my gosh, if they came out with a panda game, I would just be like, okay, let's start to switch up.
They have. It's called Kung Fu Panda, but I don't think they've got any
Well-
on the Switch.
I do like Kung Fu Panda. I won't lie, I do enjoy that very much. I love Jack Black.
Oh,
That's
yes.
my problem. What?
Oh yes, this is the reason why I didn't remember this. This looked like crap.
Oh god.
Yeah.
Oh dear.
Yeah, I'm just
Oh,
looking at
dear.
the art style of it. I was like, ugh.
Oh dear.
Hey,
Sorry. Right, next up, we had confirmation of the booster pack Wave 5 Mario Kart 8 Deluxe.
Oh my gosh, are they still on Mario 8? That's been like 5 years.
They are, because they did DLC for it.
Isn't it? Yeah.
Best thing about it, another new course is coming, and 3 new characters are coming, which
Oh.
is what I predicted when the DLC originally got announced. Thank you, people.
It's a 6 waves or 8.
Oh
6.
my gosh.
6. There's
Six
one more to
waves.
I
come.
believe it
we-
was 6, yeah, so it's due to finish by the end of the year,
Okay.
Yes.
I believe. So yeah, this is coming
don't
out
have
in
the-
summer.
Yeah.
So
Do you
this
have...
could be any time like next month, August
Yeah.
or September. And
Yeah,
then the
pretty
last
much.
one we could see around about December time, I would have thought.
More than likely, yeah. So
Oh my
if
gosh.
if you haven't bought the DLC and you're an expansion pass user, then you get the DLC for free.
Oh my goodness, they still have that expansion pass?
They do, and I'm quite
Yeah.
tempted.
It's
Oh
getting
my
a bit
goodness.
of time, isn't it?
It really is.
It certainly is.
Hey,
But
hey,
it's
if
especially
you
once
want,
they-
I may have a spare space on my expansion pack because I've gone for the
Oh,
family
goodness.
member thing. So if you are interested,
Oh,
Let's
Goodness.
talk after the show.
I
Let's talk after the show.
I've stated this before on previous episodes, but the only kind of date I've ever been on, and even that is
In air
not-
quotes.
Yeah, exactly. Was the guy and I just played his Switch. And we just played Mario Kart
I'm
8.
glad you said that and not something.
No, it never
Played with
progressed.
this Wii.
I never progressed. No, it never progressed.
so that's what
past-
he calls it, is it?
Look,
Well, I know there's a name for it.
look,
But
have you never told your missus that you're going to waggle your remote?
Oh my gosh. Oh my, so many things I could say. But to be fair, like as far as dates go, again, it wasn't a real date, but as far as dates go, like sitting in his hotel room playing Mario Kart 8 was actually kind of cool. But that's when I learned that my hands were massive, the little tiny.
Oh god, yeah.
I was like,
Oh,
I'm gonna break your controller. He's like, no, you'll be fine. And I was like, oh, monster truck.
They're a bit more sturdy than you think they are.
That's what he kept saying. But I did very much enjoy Mario Kart 8 because
No,
I'd
can't
always.
make jokes.
Oh, Pete. But I had always enjoyed the previous Mario Karts, of course. But I mean, that was very enjoyable. But that was like what, 4 years ago, 5 years before lockdown.
Well, it was originally on the Wii U, wasn't it?
Yes.
Yeah,
On
it
the
was like
Switch, I mean.
2003.
So.
The
Yeah.
game is close to 10 years old.
Oh my
Yeah.
gosh! It's time for a new one, Nintendo. Come on.
Hang on, it sold over 50 million copies. I don't think they are for a while.
Oh,
I think
Well, I
the
mean,
next-
after
the next
DLC
Switch.
runs out,
oh my gosh.
Yeah, I've
Wow.
already heard the discussions that the next Switch is going to have Super Mario Kart 8 Deluxe.
That is insane. That is literally
Deluxe, yeah.
insane.
don't know.
Because I must have played that in 2018, 2017, 2017.
2017 is when it first came to the Switch in April. It was about a month after the Switch released.
Oh my
With its
gosh.
revamped battle mode as well, and that was
Yeah,
a
God.
godsend.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's
yeah,
crazy,
you remember
guys.
that,
That's
right?
crazy.
We had Breath
And I
of the
think I
Wild.
have brought that up a couple of times on the podcast as well. Oh my god, I'm going over the same old bloody territory.
No, it's
again.
fine. Look, we do it all the time. So
Oh,
yeah,
gosh, yeah.
2017 we had Breath of the Wild, then the Splatoon 2 test fire to keep us going,
See-
and then Mario Kart 8 in the first month. It was
We did
like,
have Super Bomberman. I remember that. Super Bomberman R. I had that on launch day. I think it was just that and Breath of the Wild that was,
yeah.
I
came out.
still
I never
maintain.
bought it.
I still maintain for all of gamedom, all of them, 2017, 2018, best years ever, because we had
Close, very close.
yeah, because 2017, the Nintendo Switch launched with all of its just bam bam. It was like major franchises.
I mean, Xenoblade Chronicles 2 came out in 2017.
Oh,
as well,
it
didn't
was
Came
yeah,
out
exactly. It
towards
was
the
just one after another, and
Don't
then
forget Arms.
end.
and then we had
Mm.
And
like
Arms was all right as long as you was playing with somebody. I
Yeah,
you know, it
I
was
agree.
enjoyable.
I quite liked Arms.
but a lot of people,
Jump
yeah, I was
onto
gonna say,
online play or whatever, and it just wasn't the same.
yeah,
But
I
when
was
you're playing with somebody that you know or whatnot, or you're playing in the
It's good
same
fun.
room, you can have. Sorry, Kylie, I'm talking
no,
over you now.
no, that's exactly it. Like I was writing for a different review magazine at the time, but that Arms came out. It was just hit after hit after hit, and then even in the other consoles, we had like Red Dead Redemption 2 in 2008, 2018, God of War came out. It was just bam, 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 and then lockdown happened in 2020. Nintendo just boom, just slayed everyone and everything like that, and it's like. We've never really recaptured that. That was
I don't
just
think so.
an amazing time. For me personally,
this
that
year,
was an amazing time.
This year on Switch will come quite close, I think.
Yeah,
I think
it's
we're getting
close.
back. I
Yeah,
really
it's good.
do. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I think, back end of last year, coming into all of this year, is starting to look like a real good time.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm very optimistic for that. Mm-hmm.
Speaking
But
of
it
a real
also
good
feels
time,
like a final hurrah for the Switch as well this year, because they do have lots of
Mhm.
great games, and it makes you wonder what really is on the horizon now. Is
Mhm.
things going to start like dying down? I know we've got like Luigi's Mansion 2 and the Super Princess Peach game coming out next year,
Right.
but
they've got to be.
which we can. I mean, obviously, we would imagine it is coming to Switch. And then, like, the successor will maybe announce, like, holiday time 2024,
Yeah.
perhaps?
Gotta be. It has to be.
possible,
because
yeah.
the Switch is what, 5 years old now?
Nearly.
Oh, more.
It's more,
Close
isn't
to
it?
seven,
It's
six,
2017.
and some change, yeah.
Yeah, so it is time. I know we always had, like, we joked on this show and, about the Switch 2 and all that kind of stuff. But I actually, and, the OLED Switch came out, and that's great.
OLED.
Thank you, OLED.
Or OLED, yeah, to most normal people.
Like iOS and OLED.
iOS and
But
OLED.
OLED. But
Right.
it is time, I think. I mean, I'm ready. Like, okay, I know I haven't used my Switch, but I'd be happy to buy a new Switch that's more powerful.
You can put them next to each other and they can just, sit there and look at each other for eternity.
Exactly that.
Your lonely Switch can have a friend.
It can have a friend. I have a nice
Comforting,
little.
yeah.
It's a little red Switch and it's cute, and I've never played it.
Brilliant. Right, next up, we had finally confirmation and gameplay shown of the Star Ocean Second Story R remake.
Oh, Star Ocean.
So this is a remake of Star
goodness.
Ocean 2 that is coming in the 2nd of November.
Okay, that's
No.
very.
I have never
Very
played
little
Star
of that.
Ocean before.
No, all right.
Yeah, me neither, to be fair.
Still looks
Oh.
fantastic though.
Star Ocean is
I-
great, guys.
Again with this HD 2D thing, isn't it? That they're, that they're such
Yeah,
a big
that's
fan
why I
of
think
these
it
days.
looks really, really cool. So,
Hmm.
right, next up, the game that I teased that said might be more of a drunken game. WarioWare Move It. Another WarioWare game on
Another-
Switch
that was
is
my
never,
thought.
I like
ever,
to move
ever.
it, move it. I like to move it.
Look, I will
There
never
you go.
complain about another WarioWare game on a
I-
console because they're always just good fun, just to bring
love
out when you've got your
WarioWare.
mates round. So, yeah.
It's
Good fun,
also
good
the
fun.
most mainstream Japanese style influence game you're gonna get. If I'm
I
honest.
think so.
Yeah, I love WarioWare games. I do.
They were really, really, really hammering on how many micro games they've got this time around.
Oh,
haven't they?
nice! I love
Yeah,
that.
they were really, really.
Kick noses.
Yes. Right, next up, so Nintendo Life have got this listed as Nintendo Live 2023. What was happening in the American Direct was very different to what we got in the UK Direct.
Really?
Yes, I will explain why. Because in
Okay.
the UK Direct, we got confirmation of the Splatoon 3 European qualifiers, I
Right.
believe, and the European Championship, as well as the confirmation that Mario Kart 8 Deluxe is getting a tournament. And oh god, I want to sign up so bad.
Oh, Pete, you should.
I think I watched the American version then, because
You might have
Okay.
done, yeah, because
Yeah.
So-
they had a couple of other things for that.
Okay, what was
Because they
I
the
can't
also
remember what it was.
the Apple Live or
as
something.
well. So, yeah.
Yeah, it's called
Yeah.
Nintendo Live, as they said, Nintendo Live
Oh.
2023. But I'm not sure what that was because I didn't watch the American Direct.
Well, they
Yeah.
had a couple of announcements or tournaments that are going to happen. I think one's in July, one's in August. So had second opportunity, and the top 8 players or whatever in both would get tickets to go to Nintendo Live.
Oh, nice. That's kind of cool.
That's very cool.
So,
Impressive.
Did y'all ever watch
Yeah,
that
can't even
movie?
get something like that in the UK.
Did y'all ever
It would be
watch?
good.
But did y'all ever watch the American movie called The Wizard?
yeah, I'd rather
Yes.
not remember it, to be honest.
Which was about the Nintendo's
Why?
first.
No, it was
No.
I love.
no, it was just a friggin' it was
I
just
loved
an
it.
advert for Super Mario
I don't
Brothers 3.
care.
And I didn't want to watch it at the time because I just wanted
Oh.
to play Mario 3.
I loved it because they introduced the Power Glove in that movie. It was a movie, guys.
Ugh.
It was a movie, and they introduced the Power Glove, and I was like 3 or 4 or 5. I must have been 5, and I remember this in the theater.
I know, but then
And he's like, the Power Glove. I was like, that is the coolest thing I've ever seen in my life.
Okay.
Yeah, it's so
cool
bad.
then. Yeah,
Yes.
cool then until you remember the AVGN episode.
Yeah, okay, but we ignore that. Go watch The Wizard, or I think that's what it's called, The Wizard, right?
It is called The Wizard
Yeah.
from 1988.
Oh my,
Good luck trying to
1988.
find it because I've looked on Amazon Prime and Netflix and Disney and all the other streaming services and no luck.
Oh my gosh, yeah, I got it in a
This-
VHS. I was like
Yep.
5, and I went, ooh, I want that.
I would never usually actively promote this unless it was for preservation reasons, but BitTorrent is your friend.
That was I was so into Nintendo at that time. I was like 5 or
I know.
6,
Right.
and I was like,
Okay, right, last two, and these are like
Come on,
one of
Pete,
them's
we
going to
can
be
do it.
quick, and yeah, last two, one's quick, one's not. So let's get on it.
oh goodness,
So-
here it
Let's
goes.
get one
second
that's
to last-
quick and then we can.
Yeah. So we had the Legend of Zelda: Tears of the Kingdom. Not what you think, because it was a confirmation of the Zelda and Ganondorf amiibos.
Oh right, okay, that's Mike.
do the
These do
still
look
working on the
very
DLC.
cool.
Mike will be buying those.
I know somebody else who's probably going to be buying the Ganondorf one as well, but we'll have to talk with him on the show
Yes.
another time.
We'll have to have him
Yes.
back.
Yes, for sure. We need to. So yeah, they're coming out in holiday of 2023.
Oh goodness.
So, the final game, the final thing that they showed.
I wonder what it is.
I do wonder
Yeah,
too.
I have no idea.
I actually
Yes,
don't know.
it's-
I really don't know.
I
was
really
the-
wonder what it could be.
it was the confirmation that the Nintendo EAD are making a new 2D Mario game, not in the new Super Mario Brothers style,
Whoa.
but a
Yeah, it
new
still uses the
iteration.
Super Mario Bros. Font.
Yes, it does.
It's
But
new,
I think
new.
that's because it's the new.
Oh goodness.
But this one is
New,
called
Super
Super Mario
Bros.
Bros. Wonder.
What is it called?
It looks a lot of fun.
Super Mario Bros. Wonder.
Ooh. Okay, tell me about this because I'm totally into Super Mario.
Let's be honest, I was a bit surprised that they actually showed as much gameplay as they did.
Okay.
Because this whole thing was gameplay.
It was.
It was very,
Right.
very impressive. It's got a very cutesy, sort of weird sort of art style to it.
So like
The main gimmick.
Super Mario Brothers World type thing?
No.
It's sort of unique in itself, really.
Okay.
Yeah, you can't really describe it to
okay.
anything else. It's very colourful. It's very
Ooh.
expressive.
Yeah.
I might like
Um,
this. I might like this
I would
a
recommend
lot.
going to watch the trailer at
Mhm.
least. But the
Yeah.
gimmick this time around is known as the Wonder Flower,
Okay.
which shapes and moves the environment around you.
Ooh. Okay.
So you saw in the trailer where a pipe was being bent up.
decades, and it's flowers
Yeah.
that make him pulse.
Yes.
Right,
So you
okay.
saw in a moment in the trailer where he uses a pipe to bend to get to a new plane, which
sort
was
of turns
very
into like an
strange.
N shape and-
Yeah, you saw him mysteriously grow incredibly long legs and
Oh,
expand
goodness.
and go up and down in size, as well as the Goomba did too.
Oh goodness.
Yeah, it's a little bit out there. Let's be honest.
So Super Mario the Matrix.
It's wonderful.
Look. That's
Or
not even
Alice in
telling you,
Wonderland.
Kylie. And this is no word of a lie. I don't want you. I want you to believe me when I say this.
Mm-hmm.
Elephant transformation as well at the end. I'm not even joking.
Okay, I've got to watch this trailer. I have to
You
watch
have to
this
watch it.
trailer. I have to.
It
And
was
it's-
weird.
I
It
have
was
to.
so weird.
It's coming so soon as well. It's like
October
less than 4
20th.
months.
Right. Will this be the
Mhm.
thing that brings me back to the Nintendo Switch?
It may
It
do.
might be.
Could
I
be,
do
yeah.
love some
what-
Mario.
Okay, so I'm also going to tell you this is definitely a trip because the flowers talk to you as well.
Oh, so we are full on Alice in Wonderland.
Pretty
Oh,
much,
yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, that's a good analogy.
So, also, so the keen eyes, obviously, Mike, Rob, and myself. What did you think of Mario's new animations?
I quite liked it. The
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
you know, it gives them a lot more character and
Yep.
personality.
Personality, yeah.
Okay. Okay. I'm just going to give you the visual cue. Did you notice the hands?
Oh,
I don't think I
yes,
did.
With the
What is
running
in the
hands.
run,
Yep. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I quite like the
So-
sliding where he like grabs a handrail and whizzes and his hat almost
Yeah.
comes
So
off.
he can now grind on rails and slide along them using his hands. So very
Right.
Sonic-esque, let's
Yeah,
say.
Yeah.
It looks
Interesting.
like they're taking a lot of inspiration from other platforms
Did
that have
you-
come out there.
Did you spot the bit where they jumped? There's like 4 of them or something. And they jump down, and Mario uses his hat as like a paraglider.
Yes.
And then
yes, I
Peach
did.
also has this hat out of nowhere. That she has a crown, but then she has a massive pink hat. Where's that come from?
Yep. So it is also confirmed to be a 4-player game as well, like New Super Mario
Oh,
Brothers.
that's cool.
Wii was. So the playable characters are Mario, Luigi, Peach, Toad, and Daisy.
Yoshi. And
Okay.
Yoshi.
And Yoshi.
Daisy!
Play as
Oh,
Yoshi.
yay, Yoshi.
Yes.
Different colours.
Yeah.
But
Now,
also,
what I don't know when it comes to the Yoshi, whether that is actually part of the game or if that's mini games or something.
I
Oh,
don't
Right,
know.
that's a
right.
fair point.
Possibly.
Yeah. Yeah.
So it's a
Oh,
bit,
yes.
it's a little on the strange side, but yeah, Kylie, this is one that you really need to check out
Okay,
because it was
sounds
so
like
out
it.
there. Like
Aw.
we did know that a new 2D Mario was somewhat coming. It'd been rumored for a long time, but this kind of blew all my expectations out of the water of what it was
Aw.
going to be, because I was fully expecting another new Super Mario Brothers, and I'm glad we
Right.
haven't.
Mm.
Look, I like that series, but it's past its expiry date at this point. It needed a freshen up, to be honest.
Yeah.
So this one, very interesting, and what a surprise! I've already pre-ordered it, of course.
Of course.
I'm amazed
No,
that,
let's
that
surprise.
neither of those two games, that Super Mario RPG and Mario Bros. Wonder, didn't leak at all.
Yeah, I'm
Like,
so
especially
astonished.
when they're coming so soon.
That's a good
to
point.
be fair, actually, Mario RPG, there was a 50-50 chance on that, because the other game that was also being rumoured by Zippo on Twitter was Chrono Trigger Remake.
Which I
So
still think
they
is
had a
going to happen.
50-50 shot, and they got it wrong, because they went with Chrono Trigger.
Oh, goodness. I still think that will happen, though.
I'm not so certain.
Why?
Do you think it'll come to Nintendo Switch Online?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think if we're going to get it
route.
anywhere, it will. But look, I thought that we were going to get Super Mario RPG on the NSO first.
Yeah, I thought when I first saw it, I thought, oh, this is now.
Yeah,
the
but
edition.
then but then you see that little light go across, and it was like, no, they're doing something new with this. Oh my god. Yeah. Anyway, so that was the direct.
We got through it.
So right, we got through it. So let's give this a big old rating. So we'll
This
start
is
with
what I
Rob,
wanna
shall
know.
we? Give your wrap up, your final thoughts, and
Yes.
give it a rating out a letter grade.
So, okay, so for me, really good things. Pikmin, brilliant. Really like the new Mario games. Oh, old, new.
Mm-hmm.
I was a little surprised we didn't hear anything about Metroid Prime 4, or
Good point,
indeed
good point.
DLC for Tears of the Kingdom. I thought we might hear that, considering I think the DLC for Breath of the Wild was announced before it was even released, I believe.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, but a letter grade, A-.
Very good.
Mike?
Yeah.
Karen,
Have you got any final
I was
thoughts
just-
you want to say, Rob, before
Yeah,
I
just
go?
going to say, it was very filled with stuff, but I think they were quite clever in the stuff they showed. They showed big segments. So I think compared to previous directs, there weren't as many titles, but there were bigger showings.
Right.
Yeah.
More focus on each of those games.
Yeah. Which I quite like. But yeah.
Yeah. Mike?
Right. Oh. Okay, so I will just start by saying I did not go into the direct with a lot of hype or I kept my expectations low. And the reasons why is because, like, the weekend before, the people had already started on social media saying there's a rumor coming that on Tuesday they're going to announce a Nintendo Direct, and then the Nintendo Direct's going to come the Wednesday. It's like, well, great, I would like to have actually heard that from Nintendo themselves instead of somebody trying to seek clout yet again. And then on top of it, you hear people sort of saying, oh, I've got this leaked document. There's going to be a 2D Mario game shown. There's going to be this. There's going to be that. And it's like, just leave it be. Let people enjoy these games. Let people enjoy the wonder that comes with these Nintendo Directs.
Yes.
Let them be surprised. And then it kind of like, oh yeah, it got announced. It's like, well, that's fantastic. Now I feel a bit nuts because somebody else is going to be sitting at home saying, yay, look, I got it right. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So then I started watching it, and I thought from the beginning it's going to be a load of the games that we'd already seen announced everywhere else. And it's like, well, what is Nintendo going to come up with? They're going to have at least, like 4 or 5 games, most likely Pikmin, which Pikmin 4, because obviously that's the big game that they've got coming up, and then it would probably be something like on Pokemon, the DLC, maybe DLC on Zelda. Didn't get shown any DLC for Zelda, which obviously is fine. And then we actually got to see some games. We got to see Super Mario RPG, which I was really, really happy for. Super Princess Peach and Luigi's Mansion 2 that we got that was mentioned as well in development. It's like great, there are more games on the horizon coming to Switch.
Yes.
But it did feel, on the whole, kind of like it was simmering down a little bit. Now, what I mean by that is obviously we didn't get the next big 3D Super Mario game. Obviously, Odyssey came out on 2017, so people are thinking, well, maybe the next Mario game would be, like Odyssey
Yeah.
2 or going that way.
Yeah.
So then we got this, like, not so much a curveball, but it was like, well, we got this 2D Mario game coming instead, and it's like, okay, well, that's interesting, because a lot of people have been thinking, well, now that we have Super Mario Maker 2, we don't really need another 2D Mario, and it's like, well, no, I'm sure people will still enjoy it. On the whole, and then obviously Pikmin 4 was shown, and then Pikmin 1 and 2 as well, and I thought, well, that's great. On the whole, it was a very decent direct. I thought there was a lot of games that's in there that were going to be interesting for, all types of people. There was no, like, one particular game that I just thought, oh, this is absolutely fantastic. This is the best direct ever. Oh, I'm so overly hyped for it. It was good. I'll admit that. It was absolutely good. It hit all the points that it should have done. I wasn't overly wowed for it, but then there's been directs that have been, like, personalised for me, and this was personalised for other people. I mean, for example, like when Banjo-Kazooie was announced during one of the directs for Super Smash Bros, and I was, like, in tears.
People
I
were
still
crazy
remember
for
where
that.
I was. I was standing in a queue at a Sports Direct buying trainers. And I lost my mind when that happened.
Twitter went crazy. I remember that very well. Yeah, absolutely.
Absolutely does. And then I'm like trying to rush as fast as I can, trying to get in touch with Grant Kirkhope to see if I could get an interview with him to talk about it. After him announcing that he did do the music for it, obviously.
Yeah.
For that main video, and then that tune is actually played in the game, and then all the other remixes and that were done by other people. But so this direct, a lot of great games in there. I was really thrilled for like Detective Pikachu, a couple other games as well. Not overly fussed for the Pokemon DLC for Scarlet and Violet, but like I said, there's bits and pieces for everyone. Really great to see that Metal Gear Solid Collection was coming to Switch, and then got a bit peeved afterwards when people started saying there's only like one game on the cart and then everything else is a download. It's like, well, that's all well and good, but it looks like I'm going to have to try and buy the 1 terabyte bloody card now from the Switch, because otherwise nothing's going to fit.
Yeah.
I've already got 400 gig, and it's like, okay, well, I'm going to have to go the extra mile now, aren't I?
Yes.
So on the whole, as a grade, I would definitely give it like a B+. I'm teetering on the B+, A-. I can see where Rob's going with it, but yeah, it was good. A lot of great stuff there. Obviously, I've already had the games that I wanted to play. I've already had my Mario's, I've already had my Zelda, and it's great to see that the other games, the more focus on Pikmin for fans of Pikmin. I was hoping that would be like F-Zero or Star Fox or something for the other fans.
Goodness.
Who are just starving for a game. They are literally drowning underwater right now, while everybody else is getting what they want. You know what I mean? It's like that meme when you got your mother holding the child, and then you got the baby drowning, and then you're like at the bottom of the ocean.
That's true.
Look, that's the plight of the F-Zero fans since 2004.
Yeah. Nearly 20 years.
Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh.
I'm not counting. I'm not counting, promise.
Oh my gosh.
I'm you, Nintendo.
Well, I am a personal fan of Fox McCloud, and if you know why, you know. If you know, you know. So.
Wait, did I say that out loud?
We've got to get Leon back on this show.
Would you say, Pete?
I'm not repeating it again.
Oh gosh. Okay. I'm not a furry.
Well, there you go. That's what I said.
That's what I figured. It clicked like. No, my actual last name is McLeod. So.
I know.
Kylie McLeod of the Clan McLeod.
Hell yeah, there could be only one.
Sorry, I didn't realise your clan was anthropomorphic foxes.
Hell yeah!
With metal legs.
Hell yeah, even double!
That's why there hasn't been any Star Fox games since. There can only be one.
There can only be one!
Brilliant.
Oh my gosh, yeah.
Oh.
But Pete, what about you? What's your grade or whatever?
Okay.
You want to do this?
Right, so I go, like with Mike, I go into these with very, very low expectations. I've tried to do this as a matter of concept for the last few years because, let's be honest, most Nintendo fans tend to go in a bit too overzealous,
true.
you know, they just...
100%.
And then you
So-
end up being a little bit disappointed. Yeah.
Yeah.
And I was once guilty of doing that. So
Oh goodness.
I went into this one with very low expectations. I didn't expect much, but I knew Nintendo had to do something big because the only games that we had confirmed for the second half of the year at that point was Pikmin 4. So they needed to show something that was going to make people interested in their holiday schedule. And oh my god, did they make people interested in their holiday schedule. And slightly beyond as well, you know.
Oh goodness.
I think this is a direct that was pretty much for everybody. There was a little bit of something for everyone. It filled the need for those who would like really like remasters of games, you know, like the Metal Gear collection until it peed people off at the end. Same with Arkham, you know, you got a couple of cozy games in there. You got your obligatory Just Dance, which, you know, there are fans of. So fair enough, can't argue with it, you know. Having confirmation about the Mario Kart 8 next pack, you know, definitely helped too. With, you know, with all that they're doing with that, not only
about
just
the characters. We said that there was
Wiggler's
3
coming
characters.
back.
We never actually talked
Yeah.
about it, did we?
yeah, I couldn't go into details of that, but yeah, Wiggler is coming back, which
Oh,
is
goodness.
a character I
Oh,
quite liked
goodness.
from 7.
Oh
So,
goodness.
We got Wiggler, Kamek, and P.T. Piranha.
Oh
yes,
my.
so returning from Double Dash, so the first time he's been in the game for ages, which is weird.
Oh.
Anyway, so yeah, it was just nice to have all that confirmation, but I can't beat around the bush. I can't. This is fantastic because of the fact of what we got from it. Mario RPG Remake and Super Mario Bros. Wonder. 2 games one game I've been wanting to be remade, and the only game I've ever wanted remade is now true. And the new 2D Mario game. Look, it was brilliant for me personally for that reason. But as a whole and objectively thinking here, it's a B+. It's a B+. It's a very high mark. It's not quite Nintendo's best show,
Be better.
Wow.
but it was still very good.
Oh, yeah.
I
Absolutely.
I kid you not. I really thought, first of all, I thought Pete would go higher. But I kid you not, regardless of that.
I'm a harsh grader, remember that.
I know, Pete is he's contrarian, don't forget.
Yeah, if I was a teacher, everyone would fail.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yes, you always have to bear that
I'm
in
glad
mind.
you weren't my teacher then.
Oh, Pete is
That's
harsh.
the tension.
Oh, goodness. But I kid you not. As soon as this direct was over, Pete was messaging me. He was so excited. I've not seen him this excited over anything probably since we started this show. He was absolutely just thrilled to death. So, you know, all I could think was this must be the best Nintendo Direct in years.
Fine. Let me read the first message that I sent to you straight after the Direct happened.
It's
I've
in
got
all
far too many
caps.
thoughts to list here about the Nintendo Direct, but holy effing hell.
I think
And she put, as in good.
Yeah, I was like-
And then it just listed things.
I think that first message was in all caps. Something was in all caps that you sent me, and I was like, okay.
New 2D Mario. So when I was listing, I put new 2D Mario game and gameplay confirmation. Princess Peach game, Luigi's Mansion 2 remake, Pikmin 4, Batman,
He just
new
kept
WarioWare, and they did it in block caps. Super Mario RPG remake with loads of exclamation marks.
So then I was
You
like,
knew I was serious.
yeah, I was like,
And I
okay.
even made typos and had to edit it 4 times.
I was like, okay, we're doing a serious show here. We're gonna get people on because I kid you not, I was like, we'll just throw it together. Yeah,
We'll just do a news
It's a
episode, it'll
Nintendo
be
Direct,
fine.
whatever.
We'll cover it, you know. Maybe
Yeah,
with some other
whatever.
news that's
He was
happened.
so excited. He was so excited. I couldn't resist. But based on that, not that anyone needs my grade, because obviously I didn't watch it. Based on that, I'm gonna give it an 8. Just because it made so many people happy. Like back in the old days when I was on Twitter, because I'm not on Twitter anymore. But back in the old days when I was on Twitter, oh my gosh, the people, the fan, I'm gonna say boys. I don't really mean particularly male. Fan folk. There you go. Yeah. They were, oh gosh, like Nintendo would do a direct and it would just be immediately like, oh, it didn't have this, it didn't have this, it didn't have this, you know? And I was just like, ah!
Honestly, the discourse is what got me annoyed about the Nintendo Direct so much.
There wasn't really
afterwards.
much of that this time. There's a lot more just hype and excitement and...
Yeah. Finally, the Nintendo fans finally went, oh, look, we got something good.
Oh my gosh. Oh, goodness. But I was very excited to see Pete excited. That makes me excited, even though I don't really play my Switch.
Okay, so just to put it into context for everyone here, we did 2 hours on Summer Games Fest and Microsoft. We've done 2 hours just on the Direct.
There you go. Oh my gosh. And to be fair, most of our listeners are Nintendo fans. So I hope you're out there listening. Go listen on Spotify.
I hope you were eating good like we were with Direct.
I hope you're eating very well. Because
I've got to go to the doctors now because I may be tested for diabetes. I ate that one.
But this has been absolutely amazing. Again, I'm a peripheral. I say I'm a peripheral fan. Don't forget, my whole childhood is Nintendo. It's only recently that I'm.
You just let the dust gather.
Yeah.
that poor Switch.
Oh gosh.
If only there was an organisation like the RSPCA, but for Nintendo Switches that have been abandoned and neglected.
Oh my gosh! I have the sad music playing.
The RSPCS.
I was going to go more of the NSPCC, but then realised that was a legit organisation
oh,
too.
Goodness. Oh dear. I
can see what I was thinking there.
I still very much believe that one day something's gonna kick it off. I do think that Tears of the Kingdom has been the closest thing, and now that RPG is doing a remake, maybe. But
I think you know what your Christmas present is this year, then.
Goodness. Oh dear, you're gonna make me play that thing, aren't you?
No, I'm not that savage, honestly.
But
if anything, I'm more likely to buy that collector's edition of Starfield for you.
Oh my gosh, no! You don't worry about that.
No, I'm not doing it.
I am so excited for Starfield, but I'm also, as I've always said, excited but realistic. It may not, it's a Bethesda game. Bethesda doesn't release great games on day one. But having said all of that, this has been a very great, impassioned Nintendo Direct coverage. I've been very thrilled with our guests. We've had Rob and Mike today. And so having said all that, I'm going to ask Rob, where can they find you out there in the vast expanses of the internet?
So you can FrontpageRob pretty much everywhere. YouTube, Twitch, Twitter. So that's me.
Excellent. Yeah, I did a little looky-loo. You've got some Diablo videos?
Yeah, I do. Yeah.
I always do a little bit of stalking. Yeah. Yes.
Yeah, a bit fan of all things Diablo and Nintendo.
Yeah.
Sort of try and merge the two. That's me.
I think that's great.
So it was perfect when Diablo 3 came to the Switch then.
Oh, goodness.
Indeed, yeah.
Was it Transmog?
Oh,
Transmog, yeah.
Goodness.
The Ganondorf amiibo for the Transmog.
Yeah, brilliant.
I have the Ganondorf amiibo, yeah.
Oh my
I played
god.
that entire game and the Ganondorf outfit as well, yeah.
You did well.
Oh, goodness.
And then ever since the thing with Bethesda and Activision and all that, well, I haven't touched it since.
Yeah. Phew, believe me, as a
There's a lot of bad
Bethesda.
eggs out there at the moment, I think.
Mhm.
It's
Far
a
too
problem.
many.
I don't judge anybody for playing the games. At the end of the day,
Right.
you have to separate the art from the artist as well.
Yeah.
There
That's
are a
the
lot of
thing.
stuff that we're gonna
Mhm.
enjoy, and same goes for games, goes for books,
Mhm.
goes for
Mhm.
films. So,
Yes.
Of course.
if they're happy and you enjoy it, that's fine. As long as it's not Nazis, it's not hurting
Oh
anyone.
gosh, yeah. Everyone should punch a Nazi. Nazi.
I do not condone violence.
Oh goodness, but I do.
Unless it's in video games, and then
Yes.
even then,
Yeah,
within
Minecraft
reason.
only.
But, Mike, that brings us to you. Where can they find you out there in Never Neverland?
Yes, they can find us at www.miketendo64.com, where we write news, reviews, interviews, giveaways, and so much more. We're also on Facebook, Twitter, and on YouTube. And we're also slowly digressing into TikTok as well.
Oh, nice. That's scary
I'm personally a bit
territory.
too old
Yeah.
for it, but my brother, who's a little bit younger than me, he does more of the videos on that.
That's
Makes
really
sense, yeah.
cool.
Let him handle that hellhole.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I've been watching like ridiculous amount of Cillian Murphy interviews just because I don't know why, and he just absolutely doesn't know what anything is. He doesn't know what TikTok is. He doesn't know what Snapchat is. He doesn't know what a meme is. And I'm like, okay, I love you.
Is this because he's a method actor? He still
is.
thinks he's what's his name in
Mhm.
Peaky Blinders.
Oh, he
Still thinks
100%.
he's like the 19th
Thomas-
century or something.
Thomas
Did he by any
Shelby
chance-
would be the name.
Did he by any chance chain smoke a pack of 40 at the time?
You know what's weird? So he's smoked over. Why do I know this? He smoked over 400 cigarettes, and he still is not addicted to them. He claims. That's what he claims.
Doubt. I'm gonna press X to doubt on that one.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, Thomas Shelby is the name you're looking for. Pete.
Thank you.
Well, I've got nothing to promote other than our show and the Twitter,
Yes.
the Rapid Reviews Radio Twitter. So please check out that Twitter. We post the episodes on there. We might start posting some more memes if we can. But yeah, just another encouragement to check us out on YouTube. Check us out on the audio platforms, and share with your friends if you like it, because they might like it too.
Yeah. Excellent.
Cody, what about you?
And you can't find me anywhere because I am a social media ninja.
Incognito.
And we're not talking about a browser.
My browser is definitely incognito. Let's just say I've mentioned it on this show many times. My favorite
Take the shovel
website.
off her
It's
quick.
probably a good thing that you
Yes.
use incognito, because link the twink 100 times on Google. I'm pretty sure you're going to get some interesting stuff.
Look, all I'm saying is you'll never find X hamster in my searches. But
I can still see the top of your head, Kylie.
anyway, we thank you so much for joining us. This has been a very fun, exciting episode. We hope to have Rob back. We love having him
Would love
here.
to come back, yeah.
Yay!
Oh, thank God! I thought Kylie scared you away.
We probably scared you away. And then, as always, Mike, friend of the show. Mike Tindo, friend of the show.
Literally the meme before he even came on.
Exactly. Like months before he came on, it was Mike Tindo, friend of the show.
Yeah.
But
All thanks to a mutual friend of ours,
Mhm.
Jonathan Over.
That's
yes,
correct.
who we need to have back on at some point when the
We
times.
do, yeah.
line up.
Well, next week maybe you could get him on, because he may have plenty to talk about for
Ooh.
Too Many Games, which is this weekend.
Oh yes, I forgot he's
Ooh.
there this week, so we could probably maybe that's a show we could do.
That's a good idea. I like it.
Apparently, there's a number of YouTubers, and they're like Wood,
Evan Woods, the
so.
members of the Spawn cast were going there as well, so I was a bit disappointed that they did an hour show this week pre-recorded, because it was like their nonsense.
I'm only there if I am Krusty and Call Me Kevin are there. But Get out your bingo cards because I did it. But we thank you so much for joining us as you do every week. You could choose to spend your time with anyone, and the fact that you choose to spend your time with us means the world to us. And I don't say that lightly. So thank you so much.
No, honestly, it really does. We really do appreciate it.
Yeah. Also, visit us over on twitch.tv/Rapid Reviews, because we also do a live show. We stream live as we're doing this. And when we say goodbye to you, we're going to stay a couple of minutes for our Twitch audience, which is always fun. You can ask us questions directly and live as it happens. But thank you so much for joining us this week. And we will see you and talk to you next week. Bye.
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 PG!
Okay, I don't know what Pete just said, but that ends the podcast.
I just shouted Mario RPG.
Oh, okay. Well, that's the end of the podcast portion. And now we're on the Twitch portion. And Pete, so for those who don't know, we're doing a meetup, a Rapid Reviews meetup in October.
Oh, yeah.
Pete.
That is the hope. This is the one that was supposed to happen in June, but this month, that got unfortunately delayed due to travel predicaments with train strikes.
But
Thanks, National Rail.
it's true. But did you know, Pete, and I know you knew this because you had to have done this just for me, they've chosen to do it in Birmingham, which is where Peaky Blinders is filmed.
No, I can't say it was done intentionally for that reason, you know.
There is a Peaky Blinders escape room that I think we should all do.
I'm open to as many suggestions as possible.
And you shall put it to a public vote.
I think that probably should be.
But Mike, it's obviously, I don't know if you are in the Rapid Reviews radio, Rapid Reviews
Fans?
Discord. So I'm
Fans
not
or whatever?
100% if you've seen it, but you are more than welcome to come along to it as well. It's open to not just the writers; it's open to the fans
everyone.
as well.
Yes,
Okay.
you all
The
need
only
to try
problem is when in October, because I am out from the 12th to the 17th.
that.
Okay.
Ooh.
7th? Was it?
I wanted
Eighth,
to
or
say,
7th,
yeah, I wanted to
7th,
say the 7th, the weekend of the 7th and the 8th, I believe it was.
Is that a Friday?
Yeah.
7th?
I
Saturday, 7th.
if I fly in, I have to fly in obviously because I'm in Ireland.
Yeah, Saturday the 7th and Sunday the 8th.
You not just swim?
I actually looked at the ferry
If I
because
start now, I might get there in time.
well, I looked at the ferry because I have a really cool car and I thought I would drive it and blah blah blah. It's an 8-hour ferry trip and I was like, no, it's like 50 quid for a flight return. I'll fly there, but it is me, so I'm probably gonna stay in the castle because it's me. I have to.
Of course you are.
So you can lord it over everybody else.
Hey.
Guess where I'm staying? I'm in the castle.
I'm
Welcome
like
me,
the
peasants.
worst. I am so
Look,
awful.
No, tell me if you are actually going to do that, because I'm not gonna lie, we need to do an actual live recording in person, and the
Hell
castle
yeah.
would be the perfect place for it.
Hell yeah. I'm strongly leaning towards yes. I mean, obviously we'll go through the details, but it's the Bromwell, whatever the castle is in Birmingham.
Bromsgrove, I think
I
it
have
is, or
no
something
idea.
like that.
It's a whole new thing for me, but it will be fun. And if anyone's up for the Peaky Blinders escape room, I'm totally into that.
I mean, I've never watched Peaky Blinders, but I'll
Not bad.
gladly
It's
go
so
to that escape room.
good. It's so
Never seen
good. Oh.
It was one of those things
And
that
now
had a
you've
lot of
got
hype
about
around it.
3 months to try and convince Killian Murphy to join you for it as well.
Oh my gosh. I
No,
would
because
die.
I'm not going to say exactly what will happen if we do, but you know,
Don't forget. So
based on today's conversations, I think you can probably
It
guess.
may
So-
involve Kylie and a hotel room in the castle, yeah.
I was thinking Kylie and a puddle on the floor.
Don't
Okay.
forget, which we've said this before on old episodes, I get like film and TV memorabilia. That's what I do. I collect. And I have Cillian Murphy's backup Peaky Blinders jacket. I bought
Wow.
that.
Has it been signed yet?
No, he didn't sign it, and he only wore it for the measuring, so it wasn't actually worn on screen.
Right.
That's why I was
It
able
wasn't
to
a
get
prop one version.
it. It was just like a backup. Ooh, when I find the man that fits that, and Cillian Murphy's 5'7" and like 100.
Oh dear. He's getting thrown around that room.
Oh my gosh. Talk about length of twink. But anyway, and then I bought myself a version of the Peaky Blinders jacket, but obviously I'm much taller and broader. So.
No, I would never
Yeah.
have guessed.
But I might
You,
wear that.
you definitely don't strike me as someone who's 5'7".
No. Oh my gosh, I'd pay good money to be 5'7".
When I was about 5'7", myself, 5'7.5".
Ooh.
But I'm about 5'7.5" high and 5'7.5" wide.
No. I you know what? I don't hide it. That's you know what? That's my thing.
Look, can appreciate the honesty. I've
Yep.
never once turned around and said I don't, you know.
Yep, I'm very honest about that. But it is funny. We've talked about this before, but tall girls always love short guys. We just do. It's just our thing. I don't know why. I think it's, you know what I think it is? I think it's because we understand each other. That's my theory. You know.
Tall queens and short kings.
That's exactly that. You've got it, Mike. I love my short kings. But yes, oh my gosh, Pete, we have to do the Peaky Blinders escape room.
Put it in a message on the meetup.
I will do
and
that.
We will see how many we can gauge for it.
Yeah, Brent says, whoa, I lost you, Brent. Where'd you go?
I'm back.
I am invited to this shindig. Brent, yes, of course you're invited to this shindig. Everyone is. I do currently have a cruise scheduled in October, so I may not be able to afford more travel that month, unfortunately. Aw. But it won't be our last, our only meetup. It will be one of many, I hope, type things.
Yeah, Nana said he's probably going to try and attend.
For we are many.
Yeah, so Nana said he's going to try and attend as well, but EGX is also that month, and that
Is it really?
Isn't that in Birmingham too?
No, that's in London.
Oh, is it? Okay.
It's back down in London. It was in Birmingham a few years ago.
Yeah, it was, wasn't it?
Yeah, I remember going there.
As well in Birmingham sometimes, wasn't it?
NQ64 is usually there, I think, or something like that, or Insomnia, I think it is at the NEC.
Oh gosh, Insomnia. Don't even get me started.
Yeah, so I actually forgot that EGX was happening this year.
Oh my gosh. Okay.
I've been looking into it. I might still try and apply for a press pass. So kind of if you
I was gonna
can,
say if we
let
get
me know.
They
yeah.
haven't opened up yet, but do.
I
keep
know
an
they
eye.
haven't. Yeah, I did look the other day and saw that was the case. So I'm going to keep my eye on it. I'll try and see what I can do with us because it would be good to do.
See the thing is like I live in Ireland, but it cost me like 50 quid round trip to get over there to England. I don't care. That's nothing. So
I mean,
it's
all
an hour.
it costs is all it costs is a couple of hours and
It's an hour.
swimming.
Oh, but for real, like I kid you not, guys. Belfast to Liverpool, because I checked, 8 freaking hours on a boat. I can't do that.
That's
I'm
because
sorry.
they gotta go all the way around Ireland first. They can't just go straight across.
It's funny because
Welcome to the Irish way of doing things.
Well,
Is it a
see-
paddle boat?
the funny, yeah, exactly. And then the other day, the boat coming back was the boat was fine, but the dock in Ireland and Northern Ireland was broke, so the people on the ferry had to sit like 5 or 6 hours, and I was just like,
I always thought it was bad enough when you have to sit like 30 minutes extra on a plane.
oh my god. Well, see, that's why like I always used to go like before lockdown. I always went to Glasgow because I have families in Glasgow, so I just would like. That's like a 30 quid flight and it's 45 minutes. So I would just go over to Scotland and hang out and chill for like weeks. And then lockdown happened. But it's like, it's just nothing. Like, it's so much cheaper to fly. Like, I know it's worse for the environment. I get it, and I feel terrible. But it's like an hour to get to London. It's 50 quid.
Yeah, look, I mean, I could have flown up to Manchester. I decided to opt for coach because it was cheaper. And look where that got me last time.
Oh my
brother.
gosh, what was it, like eight
Yeah,
hours?
Thanks. Yeah, Mike, don't worry, I haven't forgotten. I'm just
I
so
wasn't gonna
ragged.
say
I'm so
anything,
ragged
I
at the
know
moment.
you-
I know. I'm hoping for this week. I will promise I will get it to you.
Oh goodness. Let's see. Yeah. So, all of that being said, if you're a listener or a watcher, well, I guess you're just a watcher at this point because the listeners are over. Come join us in October.
Brent's just put, maybe I'll just take a transatlantic cruise to Southampton. It works.
There you go. But I bet it won't be 8 hours. Can you believe that, guys? For real. Let's just envision this. Belfast to Liverpool is 8 hours. That's insane. Whereas
Is it a rowboat?
that's what
Yeah, I think
it
it must
might
be.
as well be. Like, there's no reason it should be 8 hours. We're not. I can literally stand on the northern part of the north coast, and I can see Scotland. Like, I can see it. So, like, I could swim to Scotland. Why it
No,
takes
Well, I
8
don't
hours?
even think it's 8 hours for England to France, is it?
I don't think so.
No.
No.
Like, I could stand in Portsmouth and see the Isle of Wight, and it wouldn't take more than 45 minutes on a boat to get there.
Well, Dublin to
I used to live in Swanage, and I know exactly what you mean. It is like literally a stone's throw.
it's
Yeah, well,
crazy.
where my fiance's dad lives is obviously down in Essex, that you know full well about.
Yep.
You obviously can see across the estuary there, and it's like, that is a bit weird.
But see, get this. Dublin to Holyhead, 3 hours. 3 hours. It's just a little... So I was thinking about that, but it's 2 hours to get to Dublin, 3 hours to get to Holyhead, and then from Holyhead to
And then-
Birmingham is 2 hours. Yeah, and it's
Yeah.
like, oh, might as well just do the freaking 8 hour limit. And then I was like, nah, I'll just fly.
Look, to be fair, Kylie, if you're getting on a plane, there's going to be 100 other people that are also paying for the flight, which are also contributing to the
The environment.
diminishing of the ozone and the environment. So you're not doing all the damage. There are other people to help you do it.
That's what I tell myself, that. And then all the rich billionaires, I'm like, look, they're not using paper straws. So,
Yeah. Just plant some
And
trees when you get back.
paid, depending on who you're flying with, you
Oh,
can
gosh.
also pay to contribute
that's right.
to help lower the ozone.
Those,
Whatever.
yeah,
If you're all on the same
exactly.
plane,
Carbon offsets.
I'm
yes.
gonna have to love you and leave you guys. It's getting very
We're-
late for me now.
It is.
Yeah,
it
we're
is.
pretty
It's
much
very
finishing
late.
up
We're
the
gonna
show
wrap it
now.
up right now. Yes. Thank you so much, everyone, for joining us. Thank you, chat. You've been wonderful. We have enjoyed having Rob and Mike here as guests. We hope to have them back in the
Good fun.
future. Of course, we will have them back. Please, if you're out there and you're listening, join us in October for our little meetup. And then we'll be here as always next week. So I think that's going to wrap it up for us. So we will see you guys next week. Bye.
Bye.
See you later, everyone. Thanks for listening.
Okay.